and welcome to episode 77 of
The Eldritch Podblast.
I am Margaret.
I am Jack.
And hi.
Hello.
Sorry, that was probably way too
hi.
loud. And hi.
Hi.
It's us again.
Yeah, we are back.
We're back.
You're back.
Lucky you.
We're both back. That's why we're having this conversation.
Yep. Entity brought you to us.
You came here.
Yeah, actually, yeah, we were already here.
I recorded this.
Yeah.
And now we are together.
Yeah, an entity brought you to us.
In holy matrimony.
It's something matrimony. There's some sort of
matrimony.
matrimony. There is a matrimony. I can't speak to which. Hello, how are you? What are you up to? What are you doing?
Well, watching the podcast.
Yeah.
That's why you can answer that question.
What else are you doing? What are you eating? I want to know what you're eating.
Tell me what you're eating in the comments down below.
You know what? I love finding out what people are eating.
Yeah.
Like one of my favorite questions is just what you eating.
What you eating?
Just what you eating.
Well, if you hear somebody on mic, just start having a little snacky.
Oh yeah. If I hear someone on mic, it's on site. I hear chewing. It's on site. I'm asking immediately. But like, it's just nice. Sometimes I'll just send my friends, Abby, what you eating?
Wait, what if she's not eating?
What do you eat for tea? What are you having for tea? She's like, I went to the shops. What did you get?
You can't tell me you went to the shops and not tell me what you got.
It's actually animal cruelty if you tell me you go to the shops and you don't tell me what you got from the shops.
Margaret calling herself an animal?
Oh yeah, baby, we're all animals up in here. Oh yeah, I'm a filthy animal. I don't care. I'm also an elf today.
Yes.
I am. Listen, I mentioned it last time.
Today
getting elf ears would be cute.
We got some elf ears.
Listen, okay, yeah, they definitely don't match my skin tone, right?
No,
but that's because I'm brown. So of course they're not going to match my skin tone.
Yeah.
But they were £5 off Amazon. Oh, we should have put yours on. Because it came in as...
I've got headphones on.
Oh, you should have taken the headphones off.
Well, no, because I need to hear if the audio's recording.
No. They came with like these long ones, which by the way, I don't think are like really long enough. I feel like definitely... Can you see both of them?
That's because you used to like World of Warcraft.
World of Warcraft elves.
Where the elves' ears are like...
That's the type of elf. That's elf to me. Like the really long ears.
Night elf.
Yeah, like the really long ears. I like the blood elf ears as well. But yeah, these definitely aren't long enough. But
what's the difference between night elf and blood elf ears? I don't
the blood elf ones stand up.
Oh, are they more traditional elf?
Yeah.
Right.
Go
on.
It came in a set of two, right? A £5 for two ears. I don't even think it was a £5. I think it was like £3. Anyway.
That's pretty good.
There's tiny little stubby ones, and of course I put them on you, and you look like Samwise Gamgee.
Apparently.
You really did. It's the curly hair.
It's the curly hair and the little pointy ears.
Your little pointy ears. Yeah, you did.
Yeah.
Maybe we can do that for Halloween.
I'm Samwise.
You're Samwise.
I'll get the green cloak.
I'll be Gollum. How about that?
Give me your best Gollum laugh now.
You know what? When I was a kid, I used to do a really good Gollum impression.
Go on then.
I'm not. No.
You come on to this D&D TTRPG fantasy inspired podcast. Yeah. Tell me you do a good Gollum impression, and then don't give me the goods.
I'm not giving it to you. Do you know why? I'm sure everyone has that moment when you're a child when you think you've done something really cool.
Yeah.
But you've actually just done something really weird.
Really cringe.
There was so many moments in my childhood that I can pin that feeling to. But doing the Gollum impression we read out that horror story where that person was like, I did the old man voice and everyone gave me the side eye. I do the Gollum impression, everyone gives me the side eye.
We'll do it and then we'll see if we give you the side eye.
Shan't. No, I'm not doing it. I can't.
I can't believe you won't do it.
Yeah, maybe one day. Maybe in the Halloween episode.
What if it was this day?
No. Simply no. Anyway.
Did that Gollum game come out?
Yeah, the Gollum game came out.
Did everyone hate it?
Yeah. We watched a whole bunch of things about it.
We watched loads of videos of
how
bad it looked.
How terrible. And it's hard, right? Because you don't ever want to
slag off. Yeah.
Oh.
Slag off?
I don't know. Yeah, it's probably too British, right?
That's not a swear word.
Just in case, though. Just in case.
Nah.
You don't want to talk bad about like an independent...
Slander.
Yeah, about an independent games company. But I don't... Yeah. I mean, I won't play it. That's for sure.
Yeah, it didn't look great.
No, it didn't. No.
Like, that might be an understatement as to how bad it looked.
Yeah.
But it didn't look great.
No, it didn't. No.
It didn't.
No, it didn't.
It didn't.
That's all I'll say about that. So yeah.
It didn't.
I'm elf maxing.
Elf maxing.
Abby. This is just a podcast, the Eldritch Abby Blast. I just talk about Abby for like 2 hours. She was like, have you heard the incel thing of looks maxing? And I was like, sadly, yes. And she was like, okay, well, I present to you vampire maxing.
Yes.
And every day, every time we see her, she's wearing a cat eye.
Yeah.
She doesn't wear makeup too often.
No.
Looks great. She's dyed her hair black.
Like jet black, yeah.
Like jet black. And it's long now as well.
Yeah.
And she only exclusively wore black anyway, really, but is particularly leaning in. And I just think it's neat and cool. And I'm elf maxing now.
Right, nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Nice.
So.
Well, they look great.
Thank you. You like them?
Tell Margaret how great they look down below.
You like them? Entity.
Or else.
Make them compliment me.
I just want to say at this point of viewing, at this point of recording, our last video got 40 comments.
Dude, did it really?
Don't be happy about
No, that's a lot
Margaret.
of comments. That's a good amount of comments.
Margaret. 40? I'm pretty sure I said 50.
Yep.
So what's going on?
What the hell?
Like.
So what the frick?
So shall I stop recording right now?
40 comments. That's a lot of comments.
40 comments is a lot of comments.
Thanks,
40 comments is a lot of comments.
Thank you.
Let's get 50 on this video.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
What?
51.
50.
1.
If we get more than 50, I'll be upset. If we get less than 50, I'll be upset. It has to be 50.
Right, yeah, 50 on the dot. Got you. But yeah, thank you so much to everyone who's
thank you to everyone who's commented, who's liked, who's subscribed, who's joined the Discord, bought t-shirts, all the good stuff. We'll shill all that later.
Feeling the love. We said it last time.
For all of the love that you're showing the Eldritch Podcast.
Really feeling the love in the minute. So thank you so much. We love you. That means a lot. We love you so much. Thank you.
We got some stuff to talk about.
We do have a couple of things to talk about. We were going to talk about them in last episode, but we just
there was a lot. They ended up being so much to talk about.
Yeah,
we forgot to talk about it.
Yeah.
One shot that
Abby
is running.
Yes. So we completely forgot to give the update in the last episode. And to be fair, I completely forgot that I should really check in with with like Abby specifically and being like, are you okay with us talking about your one shot? Because I there'd been conversations before. She's totally fine for us to talk about it, which is great. We went clubbing.
Yes. So basically,
we went clubbing.
Obviously, it's the Spelljammer sort of thing when we go to the university or the college, the academy, and like take our classes and our lessons. Yeah. And then we do like extracurricular activities.
Yeah, we can go out on the night basically.
Yeah, like clubbing.
Yeah.
So last time we went
to the Love Bite.
No. What did we do before that though? We did like a simulation.
Oh yes, we did a simulation. We had to go find the logbook.
Of a crashed ship in the astral sea.
Yeah, and I'm assuming that was the part that was the Spelljammer part, right? Yeah. Having to go find the logbook, etc. And then there was like a simulation fight, and then we actually ended up getting kicked out of the simulation.
Yeah, they gave us portions that kicked us out of the simulation early.
Yeah.
There was another.
There was a anomaly.
A ectoplasmic anomaly.
And we'd heard it happen a couple of times.
So now we're starting to get a theme of like what actually might be like happening.
And basically the professor, Seth, very hot by the way, was like, very hot, elf. Need I say more? Was like, yeah, well, it keeps happening, and these voids just keep opening up on the ship. Yeah. Well, in the academy even. So someone's doing it. We don't really know.
So yeah, sometimes I think it can happen by accident, but they're happening too frequently now for it to be an accident.
Yes.
But you know, we fought off this ectoplasmic anomaly.
Yes.
And then we went and got ready and had pre-drinks.
We had pre-drinks and we put on a dance playlist, and man, I actually felt like I was getting ready to go out for pre-drinks. And then it was wild. It was so good.
Go on.
Just everyone's characters, because we haven't really talked too much about what everyone's characters are like.
Yeah.
Obviously, you know, Nico Owleye.
His name is Nick Owleye.
But we just can't say his name right.
It's just so
Nico
funny.
Owleye.
What did you
Nico
call
Owl?
You called him Nico Owleye.
Nico Owleye. Nico Owl.
Nico Owleye is
a Twilight cleric Owlin.
Yes.
I want to be one with the darkness. He's just a cute little guy who's just a loser. He's just a total nerd. He just
gets scared by everything.
Yeah, he passes out a lot.
Yeah, and he likes to like because he can actually fly, but Josh doesn't like to use it in every situation, so he pretends to like struggle to fly everywhere.
Yeah.
We
got Chuck Boulder.
Chuck Boulder.
He's a giant barbarian.
I can't remember the name of the team that he's the captain of.
Oh man!
But it's like,
what is it,
I
Matthew?
don't know.
What is it?
I can't remember.
He's the football team captain of like these lions.
Yeah, these lions.
Yeah.
And he likes to run in and roar.
And he is dumb as fuck.
Yeah, we're past 10 minutes
I can swear now. He is dumb as fuck.
He is dumb as all fuck.
Cannot read.
Cannot
write.
Got
in on a scholarship.
Yeah.
And he's just your typical... He's basically Tony the Tiger.
Yes.
Basically, in a varsity jack.
He's a Giga Chad.
He's a Giga Chad.
He's a Giga Chad.
And he chucks things.
He likes to
hence
chuck
the
things.
name...
Chuck Boulder.
Chuck Boulder.
Yeah.
There is you,
He gets really excited when he gets to throw things.
Oh, yeah.
He got to throw Nico
He got to
Owleye.
throw Nico Owleye across a void.
Yeah. He was so excited.
Yeah, best day ever for Chuck,
life.
honestly. Yeah. Then there's Basil.
Yeah. The Furbolg Stars Druid.
Who is Jack.
Who is me. Who is just really happy to be everywhere he is.
Yeah, he's... Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
Oh, wow.
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 Every time somebody says something stupid or wise...
Anyone says anything, really.
I'm just surprised.
You hit him with oh wow.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
I'm just really happy to be here, and I'm really happy you said that because that's opened my eyes to a new way of thinking.
There's a joke that you put your he puts his blindfold on, which mechanically gave him disadvantage on everything. Yeah. But you actually succeeded better when you had the blindfold on for some things, and it was just very funny.
Very good, yeah.
Very funny.
He lets the stars guide him. He lets the constellations lead the way.
Yeah, very thematic. So he's a sweet pea. He's also a fucking nerd, let's be honest.
Yeah, he's a bit of a nerd.
He's a bit of a nerd.
He doesn't iron his shirts. All of his shirts.
No.
All of his shirts are really wrinkly.
Yeah, he's very sweet, though.
He's actually having to wear clothes. Society and stuff.
Yeah, boo. Am I right?
Because in the Grove, we don't wear shit like that.
Yeah, fuck that.
So yeah, and then there's
Peaches.
There's
Peaches. She is a feral tiefling Echo Knight fighter.
Yeah.
And she Dex-based fighter.
Like a Dex-based fighter.
And she is her dad's a Asmodeus, the god of the underworld.
Yes.
Also deals in crypto. He's a crypto king.
He's a crypto bro.
He's a crypto bro, and I am exactly what you think she is. She is the child of a crypto bro who grew up in like the equivalent of like Silicon Valley in the underworld.
Yeah.
And she is a brat. Spoiled.
She likes to party.
She likes to
get freaky.
Yep, she likes to get freaky. She likes to be catty.
Yeah.
It's just good fun, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's just good fun. And we had pre-drinks.
Yeah.
We got absolutely lit.
We got wasted.
Nico Owleye got particularly wasted.
We got to the club and then we got really wasted.
Yeah. The club was called the Love Bite.
Yes.
Vampires.
Just full of vampires.
It was like proper like mod vampires.
It was like goth mod vampires.
Yeah.
It was like really like 2000s, 2010s goth.
Yeah, it was really cool.
Like the leather and the big boots.
Yeah,
and
the
black
mohawks
hair and the
and
mohawks.
like
like real fucking goth. It's real cool.
Abby had a really cool playlist put together for it. It had things like
Go on.
Cure on.
Yeah, very goth. It had loads of Rammstein on.
Rammstein's Abby's favorite band, so yeah. And it was really vampire themed, and we had to do like this little play that we completely fucked up. Obviously,
yeah, we fucked the play up big time.
Obviously,
a couple of natural ones. We tried to help out with the play, but we fucked it up.
We absolutely.
We were supposed to get some free drinks.
Yeah, didn't.
But we got loads of Jaeger bombs.
Yeah, we got loads of Jaeger bombs. We got
loads of cocaine.
Yeah, let's be honest. We did.
We did get some cocaine.
We did do that, and everyone failed the contracts. Apart from Peaches, didn't fail a single contract the whole
Josh
night.
failed every single one.
So he was
rolling at disadvantage with a minus D4. Me and Matthew were both rolling at disadvantage, but Peaches succeeded.
Peaches is used to this, baby. There was a room called Forks.
Yes, there was a room called Forks.
And we went in, and it was just an empty room.
Yeah.
With a girl, a human girl.
Sat in a chair in the
werewolf,
middle of the room.
And a vampire.
And can you guess the name of all three of them?
It was only Bella, Edward, and Jacob.
Mm-hmm.
And Jacob was basically trying to get Bella's attention. Abby was like, I've never watched Twilight. First of all, I don't know how she's done that.
Yeah. Yeah, I know. Come on. Abby.
Sick.
Hasn't watched Castlevania either.
Sick.
I don't know what's wrong with her.
Sickening. But she was like, Margaret, I've put this room in here just for you.
Yeah.
And Jacob and Chuck Boulder had a arm wrestle, and Chuck was like, yeah, I'll lose. You can look strong in front of Bella.
You're a bro.
Crushed him.
No, he didn't.
Yeah.
No, he let him win. He would let him win the first one. Yeah. Then he tried in the second one, so it didn't look like he was just letting him win.
Yeah.
And then on the third
he overacted too much.
He overacted and fucked him over.
Yeah.
So then she went off with Edward.
Yep. as it is, you
so
know.
Jacob came with us.
Yeah, Jacob came with us.
Jacob came clubbing with us.
He came clubbing with us.
So then we went downstairs to the pit.
To the basement. Because there was a rave night on. And there was only Harris Pilton.
On the DJ desk. And we went down there and there was a bunch of goths dancing like that.
Yeah. You fit right in. Basil fit right in.
Basil fit right in because that's how he dances. Not much movement, just lots of swaying.
Peaches was doing that wasted white girl dance.
Yeah.
Yep. Good fun.
And so as we started dancing to the music, all the
sprinklers got set off.
All the sprinklers got sent off, and there was blood.
And there was blood in them.
Drenching all of the vampires, so they all went fucking
Vampires went feral.
So we had to try and get the sprinklers turned off.
Yep.
While they were trying to kill us.
Yep.
So we did that.
And basically we found out that they were like, oh, fuck.
This was for the party after this.
That's the after party of the vampires, the sprinklers of the blood.
Not when everyone was here, not when it was open to the open season.
And Harris Pilton was fine.
Yeah,
she got Peaches to sign her chest, and she
Nick
was very happy
Howley
about
did
it.
put her to sleep with a sleep spell.
Yeah, well, good thinking, by the way.
It wasn't the music, though, was it?
No.
We thought it might have been the music.
We thought it might have been the music, but no, it wasn't Harris Pilton at all. How could we ever accuse Harris Pilton?
And, That
was about it.
It
was good fun.
Next week, we're going to the circus.
The circus.
Yeah. Is it Asmodeus' circus?
No. It's
Mistopheles.
Circus. Asmodeus is my dad.
Yeah, I thought that.
Yeah.
So I don't know what we don't know what we're gonna do curricular wise.
Yeah.
But we did some spell. We did some. That was Seth's class. So Seth's class is the Spelljammer stuff, and then Coach Johnson's is the what are you called? The Corps. The Marine Corps. The Marine Corps. It's their stuff. So I think we'll be doing something slightly more physical next time.
Peaches doesn't believe she should be in the Marine Corps.
No,
She's like, I'm a Spelljammer.
I'm a Spelljammer.
She ain't.
She wishes she was.
Yeah, she does. So yeah, good fun.
Yeah, good fun.
Oh man, just so much fun. Yeah. Just a good fun time, and I just love playing with my friends and playing something just a bit lighthearted like that. Like it's just fun because we can just do whatever and like. Just having like the music on, just having like putting the club music on, and it's just good fun.
Yeah, it was good fun.
So much fun. Abby, you're doing an amazing job.
Abby's doing a really good job.
Really good job.
For somebody who's never Dungeon Master before.
Yeah, definitely. And handling us as well, who are insane.
I think she's starting to realise what, like, because you can plan so much.
Yeah.
But when you've got a group as chaotic as ours, because our group is very chaotic, even in mine, they're quite chaotic. You do have to fucking DM by the seat of your pants.
Yep. Yeah, you do.
So I think she's starting to realise how bad you guys are for it.
Oh, totally. Do you know what I admire about Abby though? Is like in this first instance, if there's something she's not sure on or doesn't care about, she's just like, whatever. Yeah. She's very much like, that's fine. That'll do. Like, do you know what I mean?
And you know, like as a Dungeon Master, sometimes you just have to do that.
Agreed. I think as a first time DM, I can only speak for myself here. I was so uptight with everything like that, and I felt like everything had to be perfect. Wrong.
And like I learned that really early on. That like you're not going to be able to plan everything. No. And sometimes you just got to make it up. Yeah. And obviously because I'm the first Dungeon Master Abby's probably had. Yeah. She's probably been like, oh well, this is normal to be able to be able to just go, oh well, Jacob's a wolf. Google's wolf. There we go.
Yeah.
And then there you go, it's done. Yeah. And not get hung up on the fact that she didn't plan it.
Definitely.
Because you can't plan everything, man.
No, you can't. Absolutely not. No,
you just never will be able to. She's doing a fucking great job.
She's doing an amazing job.
Everyone hype for Abby.
Hype Abby up.
Hype for Abby.
Go on. Hype her up.
GG's Abby.
GG's Abby.
Jed, big Jed.
The next thing actually kind of follows on really nicely from that.
It does.
Castlevania Nocturne.
Castlevania's new season.
If you watched Castlevania and you liked Castlevania, what are you doing? Why haven't you watched Nocturne yet?
Why haven't you watched Nocturne?
Is
it because
you hate me?
Is it because Netflix put in that new thing where you can't share your friends' subscription?
Is it because Netflix is astronomically priced now?
That's totally
That's valid.
Fine.
Yeah.
That's totally valid.
You know what? Then I'll leave you alone.
If that's the case, fair enough. Because Netflix are they weren't rich enough already.
Yeah. Greedy corporation.
They needed a bit more.
Yeah.
There was they weren't eating well enough.
Yeah.
They needed to eat some more.
Yeah. Yep.
Fuck you, Netflix.
But Castlevania Nocturne, though.
Castlevania Nocturne.
If you have a Netflix subscription,
goes hard as fuck.
Goes so hard.
Goes hard as
fuck.
Like,
I'm the type of person where... Actually, I'm getting better with it as I get older.
Yeah.
But I get so attached to characters. Like, I don't really like watching things that aren't... I don't know what the word is. Like, aren't chronological. Like, aren't the same characters in a different season. Oh, right.
Okay, yeah. Like, changes characters after months. Yeah. Like True Detective did.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. I don't really typically like things like that because I get too attached to characters. And I was worried I was going to do that with this. Didn't at all.
Yeah, and it's weird. It's like, no spoilers, Al. No spoilers, Al. It very much sells it as like, Castlevania, like Trevor Belmont's and Cypher's heir.
Yeah.
It's not really just about...
No.
His name's Richter.
Yeah, his name's Richter Belmont, and he's actually like a far descendant.
Yeah,
it's like a few hundred years
after.
But he's once again the last of the Belmont clan.
Yeah, no?
Yeah.
It's like, he's the last of the Belmonts.
Yeah.
And it really ends up becoming about, like, they're in a situation... There's fucking vampires.
Obviously.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Big spoilers. And basically, it's not just about him, which I thought it would be.
I know. It's about everyone.
Yeah.
And there's another character called Annette.
Yeah.
And there is a lot about Annette and Annette's background. And I think it's fair to say there is a huge emphasis. Like, I feel like some of the themes in Nocturne are bigger than thou. Like, the idea of gods. And the idea of these vampires being so ancient that they're not mere humans anymore. Yeah. They've kind of transcended in a sense.
Yeah.
They were around in the time of gods.
And it tackles lots of very important social
revolution. Revolution is a huge
slavery
and
racism.
I feel like that all ties in, right? There's an overall sense of revolution and the idea of being someone's captor or being someone's captive.
Yeah.
And it's great.
It's great.
It's great.
It ain't just about Victor, it's about the group that Richter forms and how they fucking just tear shit up.
Agreed. Love it. Love every single character.
The ending scene. there was a twist. There was a twist at the end that
it had me doing that.
It was so good, and it was so... I didn't expect it at all.
Me neither.
And oh my fucking God, when it happened.
I sat up, screaming, kicking my feet, giggling like a little girl.
And if you've seen normal Castlevania,
God.
Man, what a moment.
Oh my God.
What a moment.
Oh my God, it was amazing. It was amazing. It was amazing.
So
10 out of 10.
I will be honest, if you haven't watched Castlevania and you watch it, it's still great, and it doesn't matter if you watch it, but that twist won't matter as much to you.
Yeah, I agree. But, even then, like, even if you haven't watched the original Castlevania, totally watch Nocturne. You don't have to.
Yeah.
There is definitely a lot of callbacks, I'd say.
Do you think?
Yeah, there's quite a few callbacks, but not that breaks the...
Do you think?
Yeah, I think so.
Like what? Well, that, but apart from that...
No, there is a few mentions of things that had transpired previously, and people who had transpired previously.
Yeah, but I don't think so.
Yeah, I definitely
don't. It doesn't hang its hat on Castlevania.
God, no, it doesn't. No, but there is a few references. I guess it's like anything though. Like if you know the previous stuff, it's nice to have the reference.
Yeah, it's nice to have the reference, but you don't need it. But I like the thing is the twist at the end. Like it made me think that the series stood alone so much. The thing at the end happened at the end because they didn't need it.
Yeah, completely.
Like,
I completely agree.
Good.
Amazing. Oh my God, amazing. The character art, beautiful.
Oh, so
stunning. The character design, stunning.
The black woman.
Oh my God. Elizabeth.
No.
Oh, her assistant.
Her right-hand woman.
You know what? Because we turned subtitles off at that point, I can't fully remember what her name was.
But, oh my God, her fucking character.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Elizabeth's character art as well, let's be honest.
When there's like a change.
When she phases.
Oh my God.
Amazing. Oh man. So
good.
It's full of emotion. It's full of tears.
It's very emotional.
It's like got a fire under its belly.
I've never seen a series where a character cries and it's
Jesus Christ.
Like it's painful to watch. It's painful to watch.
When
a character cries in that series, it's hard to watch.
Yeah, like not just like crying like from your gut, like you're pulling noises out from your body that you've never made before because you're so upset.
Basically, Annette cries.
Yeah.
The fucking voice actor.
Jesus Christ.
The voice actor gave that everything
I'd say
that they have ever given in life.
Ever.
Richter's
voice actor as well. I think.
God, when he cries.
Jesus.
Oh.
Anyway, please go watch Castlevania Nocturne. It's an incredible series. The people who work on it are so incredibly talented.
Yeah.
Like
they obviously care a lot.
I think the director is called Samuel Dietz. I could be wrong. I follow them on Twitter. Just incredible dedication to Castlevania. Because obviously Castlevania was a game before it was a series.
Yeah.
Please watch it. Please.
Oh, it's so good.
Please.
It's so good.
Please.
It's so good.
I think that's it.
Yes.
I think that. No. We have one more thing.
Oh, yes.
We have one more thing.
A little bit of housekeeping more than anything.
Housekeeping?
Yeah.
What?
The new submission thing.
Oh, yeah. All right. So,
What are you talking about?
Yeah. So
yeah, it's like housekeeping.
Yeah. In the video where we rolled the characters.
Yeah.
It was like last Thursday's video, I think. We played a little game. Thank you so much to everyone who interacted with those videos.
Yeah.
I know it's not for everyone, but it's so much fun.
The thing is, right, the people who like those videos, like live and die by those videos.
Yeah,
They're
totally.
like, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I love this so much. Oh my goodness. And we mentioned in passing, oh yeah, we'll do it for some Squaddy Bs. Like if we want us to make these our characters. And everyone was like, please make my character. Please make my character.
Oh
my God, please think of my backstory.
So we'll make your characters
so we're doing
for
it.
you.
So we put up a new form.
A brand new form.
Which is called
character creation.
It's like the official Eldritch Podblast character creation form.
Yeah.
And you can go on there, and it can be as thorough or as little as you want. You can just say, I've rolled all my stats, I've got all my proficiencies, I know my race, I know my class, I know my subclass. Just think of the backstory.
Yeah. Or you can go, I kind of want to play this. I'm thinking this. Roll for this. Or you can go roll for everything.
Yeah, you can be like, I'm gonna play a Air Genasi Psi Warrior Fighter.
Yeah.
But that's all I've got.
Yeah.
Or you can literally go, I have nothing, you choose everything.
Yeah, exactly.
And
so there's an element of rolling things for you if you want us to.
Yeah.
There's an element of creating your backstory if you want us to be able to give you just ideas. Mm-hmm. And it's just for us as well. It's just a really fun creative experiment. That's why we play D&D. That's why we love D&D.
We love creating characters.
For being creative. So
I love creating backstories. That's why
so do I. So do I. I love the creation of a character. So you know, if you want us to, and again, you totally don't have to follow everything we say. You don't even have to use it if you don't like it. But if you want our hand in creating something for you, we'd love to. And the link is below. It is in the same top section of the YouTube description. Mm-hmm. It's just under the normal submission form. And as soon as we have enough to be able to make a video, we'll record an episode ASAP of it. So I'll make a community post. I'll post it in the Discord. So send us your ideas
Send us your characters and let's make some...
you could have everything and you just want us to give you a reason. You might want us to give you just a couple of things.
Like, I have this backstory, but like it needs fleshing out.
Yeah. I have this world primer. I don't know how to make my character.
Yeah.
Everything is on the form. You'll see everything on the form.
And you can go into your next campaign with the character created here.
Yeah.
On the Eldritch Podblast.
Yeah, it would be our pleasure. It truly would.
And then you can send us loads of fan art.
Yeah.
And you can be like, remember that character that we created?
Yeah.
Well, here they are.
Yeah, that would be amazing. So yeah, that's that.
Yeah.
Please send them in. We'd love to get a video done as soon as possible, really.
So hyped on that.
So am I.
And thanks for wanting to see it.
Thanks so much, guys. Thank you.
Right, let's do it.
Yeah, shall we get into it?
Let's get this bread.
So, today, I'm not going to pretend like you can read, because I know you can't. We're doing Unpopular D&D Opinions.
Unpopular D&D Opinions.
D&D Hot Takes.
D&D Hot Takes.
I changed the name so often.
Weekly.
But this is basically a collection of... I don't think there is any submissions in this. Get your D&D Hot Takes submitted.
I want to see your unpopular opinions. I want to see how bad your takes are.
Yeah, we want to judge you.
Because look, I've seen some bad takes.
Yeah, you can submit them anonymously. It's fine.
Yeah.
But no, I completely understand why this has the least amount of submissions, right?
Yes.
You don't want to be told that your opinion's unpopular.
You don't want to be told that your opinion's unpopular.
Yeah, totally. So these are all taken from the Reddit, but we will pull from the submission form when we have some in.
Let's get this bread.
It's we should give the what we always say in the beginning of.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we're going to be saying if we think these are unpopular or not. Just because we think they're unpopular doesn't mean that they are.
No.
It doesn't mean that they are. And everything is our own opinion. We're two idiots on the internet. It's absolutely okay to disagree. The only situation that we will say it is not okay if someone's being hateful, because there's no fucking space for that here.
No.
Shall we get into it?
So stop it.
So stop. Stop hating me.
And with those few words, I killed hatred.
Yeah, that's what I heard. So this first one is... Standard array is the only way to build characters. Rolling for characters is dumb. It gives you unbalanced parties and parties that are too good and can't fail normal checks. Standard array is fair, even, and leads to 100% balanced parties. It curbs power gaming too. It is the only way to go.
That's a stinky opinion.
Ooh, that's I feel like that's an unpopular opinion.
That's a real
Definitely.
stinky opinion. That's like saying that's somebody who played D&D as soon as like 5e came out, and standard array was like the only way that was like to play. And as these other things have evolved and come out, they've like panicked.
Yeah.
Or they've like, I can't change. There's no way for change. Change is bad.
Or they're either a player or a DM who has been in a game where they have done something other than standard array, and one person has been really difficult to manage because one person is an asshole, not because they're overbalanced.
So, with standard array, the highest number you get is 15.
15.
Yeah. So basically, you can get a 17.
17.
And if you took like a half beat, let's say,
you get a 16.
You could get an 18.
Oh, sorry, yes.
So you could sit. It's an 18 with standard array with a half beat that gives you +1 and a +2 in your main stat.
Yeah.
And
at level 4, or if you're taking a feat,
which a lot of people do little feats at level 1. So if you get really lucky and you roll 3 6s and then you put your +2 in there, all you got is 1 extra than what you could get with standard array.
Yeah.
So is it that hard to balance?
I think it's the stipulation that there can be potentially more than 115. Do you know what I mean? It's the stipulation that there can be more of the higher numbers, and someone could potentially roll more of the lower numbers. But I also think that's why you put fail-safes in place,
like minimums,
like the minimums, And like you don't let us go straight to a 20. So if we rolled an 18, you wouldn't let us go straight into a 20.
You can make it a 19, but you can't make it a 20.
Yeah, exactly. I think that's kind of where, and I think part of me would agree if there wasn't minimums in place. Yeah, I think it could potentially be unbalanced, but...
And, like, the thing is, if you've got a minimum, like, it's basically like standard array. It's like, you start at this point, full stop.
Yeah.
You can go a bit higher than that. The likelihood that you're going to get a lot higher than that is low.
Yeah, well, and people are like, well, what's the point in setting a minimum? Rolling should be completely random, right?
No.
To which I say... You can still have a minimum set and have varied stats between all of your party members, right?
Somebody might get 3 18s and like a couple of like negatives, like a 7 and 8 and 9.
Exactly. And I say to that, variety is the spice of life, right?
Ooh.
Like having people being better at other things is what is part of the game, in my opinion.
Yeah.
You know, I understand from a DM perspective having something like standard array, because when I DM'd, I had a buffed standard array.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't, first of all, I don't do numbers, but I...
Like, so it gets out of whack. It's like, how? Like, how does it get out of whack?
I think it's when you don't have a minimum. Right?
Okay. So, but then, like, just use the standard array minimum. Like, that's what you can roll minimum.
Yeah.
Like, but I think they're talking about getting out of whack as in, like, it gets too powerful. And
yeah,
like,
well,
just because you roll for stats doesn't mean then anything else happens. You can still conform to the racial benefits that you get, like the +2 and the +1 in specific places. The feats or ASIs at every 4 levels.
Yeah.
Like, those things are still there to not let it get out of hand. Like, if you're giving out crazy magic items as well, then it's just like, you're also part of the problem as to why it gets, like, out of whack.
Yeah.
Like, being able to, like, they succeed every check. It's like, do they?
No, absolutely.
Because I'm pretty
not,
sure
no.
in my campaign, you guys fail a lot of checks.
Yeah. I mean, you know, that's because that's on a dice roll.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And yes, okay, there gets to a point where you have such good proficiencies, but you know, that's like later in the game as well.
And like, just adjust your DC slightly.
Yeah.
Like, if everyone's really great at everything, then just like have the standard be a tiny bit higher.
I feel this whole thing falls into it curbs power gaming, and it falls back into the conversation of min-maxers and power gamers, and I just
like, you're gonna have optimizers
no matter
what you pick.
No matter what,
you can have 2 people play standard array, one person just be a casual gamer and one be like a mega optimizer, like a giga optimizer, and those 2 people are going to end up at completely different points in the end of the game.
Yeah, totally. And that's kind of the point. That's the joy of the game. You can do whatever you want. Right?
Yeah, 100%. So this is just a fucking
this stinks. Point. And you know what? Just rolling for characters is dumb. No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No.
It simply isn't. In the same way, standard array isn't dumb.
Yeah.
Point buy isn't dumb.
Yeah.
Like, they all serve their own different purpose, and it works better for every individual table. You know, I can't sit here and go that this person, for their table rolling, doesn't work, because it probably doesn't. Sounds like it doesn't. Standard array probably works better for them. Does it work better for everyone? No.
I don't like it.
Come on.
I don't like I think I would go. I would probably go rolling with a minimum.
Uh-huh.
I would then go buffed standard array. Mm-hmm. I would then go point by. Mm-hmm. Then I'd go standard array.
Yeah, I think
they're my like tier rankings of stats.
Same.
Buffed standard array kind of slaps.
Yeah, that's what I did.
The stats that you can get are quite good.
Yeah.
Normal stinky standard array is stinky.
Yeah, but that's just, that's because now you're an experienced DM who can very easily balance. One of the things you shine at is balance. You're incredibly good at balancing combats and incredibly good at balancing what we have.
Yeah.
I understand that not every DM wants to do that or can do that. You know what I mean? So.
Thank you.
No, you're you're so welcome. Yeah, I feel like that's an unpopular opinion no matter what, right? I feel like that's a hot take no matter what.
I feel like if they'd said point by is the only way, I'd believe it more because there are people who live and die by point by.
But even then, I don't think I don't think you can say in a game where a billion million thousand people play a game in different ways, you can ever say this is the right way to do it. Yeah. I just don't think that's
just
fair.
Stupid. And you picked the worst one of all of them.
Yeah.
You didn't pick buffed standard array, you didn't pick rolling, you didn't pick point by, you picked standard array.
Yeah. Anyway, the next one.
The next one.
Do you think that was unpopular?
Oh God, yeah. God, yes.
Oh, pardon. Oh, we don't have our gavels.
Get the gavels.
I'm clapping us out. You're not looking at me. Stand up.
Unpopular first opinion.
Boink.
Badoink.
Boink. All right, this next one is opportunity attacks should not be a thing, at least not in their current form. It makes it so enemies never want to move away from each other and combat just becomes standing around and doing math. It often causes people to neglect any interesting use for the terrain, for fear of either a party member being hit by often heavier hitting bad guys, or a bad guy taking multiple hits from party members. What do you think?
So, I agree and disagree.
Mm-hmm.
So, I think, big surprise, Jack's going to say good things about Matthew Mercer. Matthew Mercer's great at this.
Mm-hmm.
He is more than happy to take numerous attacks of opportunity to get a big attack off.
So are you.
I don't think I'm as good as him. Sometimes I do get crippled by the I'm going to take too many attacks of opportunity here, I'm just going to stay. And it does sometimes make combat slightly less exciting because then it is just a stand and slogfest. I think that's why it's quite a good way to do it is have creatures with a mix of melee and range attack.
Yeah.
So not all of them want to get in there.
Yes.
And they have ways to like stand back. And the thing is, I use terrain differently. Like if you get high ground, I'll give you a D4 to your roll.
Yeah.
Like you will get benefits.
Yeah.
If you are low ground, you'll get a negative D4.
Yeah.
So it does give it a bit of dynamic to, I'm not going to get in there. I'm actually going to get up here and fight from here.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, and that is good. There has to be a penalty to leave it. Why though? I'm like, there has to be. Why? Why does there have to be a penalty to leave in the attack?
Well, probably just because that's the rule you've always followed, right?
Yeah.
Like it's kind of hard for me because again, I'm not a DM, I'm a player.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also hard for me because the last game we played in, I was the tank. So moving away and taking opportunity attacks wasn't a big deal for me because I was never concentrating on anything.
Yeah.
I could soak the hit points. It was fine for me. So I never worried about doing that. I moved away often, taking attack of opportunity often. I'm trying to think back with Willow, my other druid, who was a spellcaster, and she was always concentrating on conjure animal.
Mm-hmm.
And I was never in the fray, I don't think, but if I was, I would not move and take an opportunity attack. However, I think our party is really good for having things like Mind Whip, where you take away something's reaction and you can get out of there. Really good for things like what's the other one? There's another thing that takes away reactions.
Oh, Shocking Grasp.
Shocking Grasp. So we constantly do stuff like that.
Yeah, and you always take Misty Step.
Always.
And Matthew was a rogue.
Yeah.
So there was like always a way.
So I feel like no matter what I say, I'm going to be biased to not caring.
People always took telekinesis.
Telekinetic,
sorry.
Yeah.
So there was shoves to break attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
I like Crusher to break attacks of opportunity. So like, there's so many ways to break it now. It feels a little bit better for the players.
Yeah.
Not for the Dungeon Master.
That's it. For the DM, probably not so much, right?
But obviously I can just give my fucking enemies that, which I'm more than happy to give my enemies things like that.
Yeah.
But I think when you get an enemy who can cast spells, when you get a dragon that has a breath attack, something like that, I think it can, if you get into melee and too many things surround you, it can feel bad taking all of those opportunity attacks. But if you roll a 5 or a 6 on that dice and you get the breath weapon back, it is so much more valuable to take those attack of opportunities,
back up, and then be able to put yourself.
Do it.
Yeah, I agree. What do you think about the take?
I actually don't think it's a bad take at all. I think attacks of opportunity are bad because it ends up to just a slogfest. Yeah, is probably true. Yeah, and it also, we can say the same thing about advantage flanking.
I knew you were going to say that.
We get conga lines, and then like tactical play sort of like leaves because the tactical players stand in a line, so everyone has flanking. Yeah. So yeah, I think there are some things that make it unrealistic and less tactical, but at the same time, I'm hearing what you're saying, but I'm not hearing a way around it. Is the thing? But that's obviously not what the post is about.
Yeah. I think not all. Listen, I feel like not all hot takes are here to solve problems. I feel like hot takes are here to rustle the jimmies.
Yeah, the jimmies have been rustled. The thing is, I agree. And if there was a different way around it that we can think of, I would probably like to do that. Yeah. And if you've got one, tell me in the comments below. Add that to the 50 comments that we are getting this video.
Yeah, please. Yeah, what do you think? I don't think this is unpopular.
I think this is a 50-50 popular and unpopular.
Agreed. Yeah, agreed. I feel like this is split right down the middle.
Yeah, because also then it completely invalidates probably one of the biggest martial feats.
Yeah.
Sentinel.
Yes. Well, exactly. Yeah. Exactly.
Like tank spanking Sentinel, just keeping things in one place. But like we played at a game where the DM was like, Sentinel's gone. Just immediately.
Oh my god, yeah.
Because
I love a little bit of Sentinel.
I like Sentinel.
I love Sentinel.
You took Sentinel in my game.
I did. I took Sentinel in my first game.
Fuck me, as a dungeon master.
Love Sentinel.
God, a monk with Sentinel, like Beauregard with Sentinel was insane.
Didn't Yasha have Sentinel as well?
Yeah, but also at the same time, if you both stand against one target, you can't take the reaction attack.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it says it in the text.
Oh, I had no idea.
Two Sentinel people can't take that reaction attack. Got you. I had no idea about that.
Yeah. But yeah, I feel like that's right down the middle. I feel like that's just I would say that's a lukewarm.
That's a resting opinion.
Yeah.
Because I like it, but I know most people won't.
Got you.
And they're in a fix. So.
You ready for the next one?
Smelly, stinky opinion.
Okay, strap in because this is a really fucking bad one.
This is a vile take.
This is a
necrotic take.
Oh my god, yeah. This is necrosis. 10 feet under take. This is going to be particularly hot for me because I ran games like this before, but the world the players are in doesn't need to be woke and accepting. Characters in the world can be allowed to find same-sex couples disgusting. Not every bard is bi. The concept of pronouns being flexible would not be a thing save for changelings. Transphobia would exist. Just because I'm an ally in real life, and I support pronoun and gender changes and embrace differences in sexuality, doesn't mean the people in a medieval fantasy world do. Sure, the fantasy world is an escape from the real one, but I also think a lot of queer players just assume that since D&D is fantasy, that I'm required to make the world hospitable to them.
Wow. What? You call yourself an ally? Yeah. Couldn't be any less of an ally. Do you want to know what always gets me about these takes? Yeah. Do you know what I was fucking just complete? It's nonsensical garbage about these takes. Yeah. It's fantasy. So that means it's in a period before now. And it's like, so you're saying that this takes in a period before now because there's stone buildings and castles and kings and queens. But back in ye old England, plasmoids didn't exist, goblins didn't exist, dragons didn't exist. So you're saying that it's a time before now because it's ye old fantasy, but it's just a different world.
But do you know what did exist?
What?
Queer people.
Yeah.
Trans people.
Yeah.
They listen. Queer people and trans people have been alive as long as humankind has been alive.
Yeah.
Those people were absolutely, categorically, 1,000,000% alive in medieval times.
Yeah, but it's the thing that I don't get. It's like, you're just like, oh yeah, they don't exist in the fantasy world, as if a fantasy world ever existed and there is a canon. Fantasy worlds have never been an actual thing that you could touch, feel, and like exist in. Like, yeah, we had knights and shit and kings and queens back in the day, but we didn't have dragons and goblins and shit like that.
Also had trans people in the day.
They never truly existed, is what I don't get. You're saying that this shit existed. It never existed.
I know.
It can be anything we want, and the fact that you choose that they don't exist is a thing about you, not about fantasy.
And it's like a medieval fantasy. Literally, first of all, not every D&D setting is a medieval fantasy.
No.
And that's the thing. Like you said, they're not real. They can be whatever you want.
They can be whatever you want.
Like, to sit here being like, I'm an ally in real life.
It's like, no, you're not.
And these queer players, these queers that come into my game.
And expect me to be nice to them.
Hey, listen, I know it's an escape from the real world, but... Come on. I've got to get my agenda across somehow.
Yeah, I've got to fucking hate you in some capacity. I've got to be horrible to you in some way, shape, or form. And I can't do it in real life anymore because I'll get cancelled. So I've got to do it in D&D.
I've got to do it here. And you know what? It's like, I hate you in real life.
Yeah.
Can't say that.
Because
I'm an ally.
Because I'm an ally. And also I'll get cancelled.
Yeah. But I can fucking hate you in my fake world.
Yeah, because because that's not real.
Man, this fucking shit. Listen,
fucking
first
garbage.
of all, I know that this doesn't need to be explained any further.
Garbage rat.
Garbage rat. Like, you are not an ally.
You aren't an ally.
You're not an ally if you want to fucking call same-sex couples disgusting.
Like, what?
You're not an ally.
Jesus Christ.
You're not an ally. Like, quite simply. And I'm so fucking sorry to the whole queer community and the whole fucking trans community that there's people like this who go around pretending to be fucking allies.
Pretending. It's like a fucking job they have to do.
Yeah.
They don't want to do it.
I'm an ally.
I'm a fucking ally. Fuck's sake, I'm an ally. Shut up. Get off my back.
Oh my god.
Fucking hell. I
hate gay people, but I'm an ally.
All I want to do is fucking hate on gay people and trans bash people all day long.
Shut up. If you care about the people around you, you'd
represent them.
Yeah.
In any which way, shape, or form you could.
Exactly. It's like, let me guess, you're a fucking white cis man who has always had every single representation of you ever. You have never, ever, ever felt underrepresented.
Yeah.
You've never had to go to a shop and not see fucking your name on a fucking bottle opener keyring.
Yeah.
Like, fuck off. Oh.
Tell them. Get them.
Fuck off. Get fucked.
I'm an ally. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
How can you sit there and say that you're an ally? How can you sit there and tell me you're an ally? You're not an ally.
If you care about the people around you, you are going to make your world accepting.
Yeah, of course you are.
And woke. Like, you are. Because the people around you in real life suffer enough.
We don't, like, man, when in the world the threat is Vecna or Tiamat, or like fucking, I don't know, some crazy shit.
Yeah, it's not the gays.
Some fucking dragons, some liches, some creatures from beyond the void, the fucking underworld. I don't care about fucking people thinking that same-sex marriage is stinky. Like, why are we making that the problem of the game when there's literal dragons breathing fire on shit? It's like the same world. It's like this world, when we've got fucking like corporations and governments who couldn't care less about you or anything. You are just a number on a screen. You are just another way to keep the machine of fucking capitalism churning out fucking babies. We shouldn't be caring about fucking people who love each other who are the same sex. People who don't conform to a gender. Why is that the shit that we're focusing on? You are so fucking blind, and you are literally you're a sheep. You're a fucking sheep.
Go on, sheeple.
You're a fucking sheep.
Yeah.
Like, there's so many things that we should be worrying about and trying to fucking break down. Not this bullshit.
Agreed.
Not this fucking bullshit.
Oh my god.
You literal fucking morons.
Man. That fucking pisses me right off.
You are a fucking moron.
Thankfully, there was a lot of kickback to this. Yeah, thank God there was.
Thank God.
Like, fucking shut up. Shut the fuck up. Of course.
Man,
of course your world.
Could you be arsed being bothered about shit like this now?
No way.
In the day and age we live in, where people are fucking homeless because they can't afford to pay their fucking bills because fucking corporations want money, and this is the shit you care about?
I know. Disgusting.
Fucking wake up.
Yeah, come on, ally.
Open your fucking eyes.
Thanks.
Jesus Christ.
How we doing?
Let me just wash my hands of that rancidity.
Patooey. Oh, God.
I'm an ally.
I hate that person.
I hate that person.
I hate that person.
I hope I never meet you.
I hope that.
You are the fucking worst. I'm an ally.
On site. I hate you.
No, you're not.
I hate you.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Why would you say that about yourself? And you're clearly not. God, was that number 3? I got so.
Yeah, I know. I
got so mad. I didn't write down any time.
Shall we move on?
Let me just put. That must have been about.
That
must have been about a 10-minute rant.
Yeah. God damn it.
See, this is why the things are bad. This is why the timestamps are bad.
You get too mad. Oh, all right. Okay, this next one.
Number 4, yeah?
Number 4.
Let's go,
Number
baby.
4.
Let's go, baby.
The only D&D related hot take I have is the following. Dinosaurs don't belong in D&D. They just don't mix with a high fantasy / epic fantasy setting. If there are dragons, then why would we need dinosaurs? How would the two even fit in the same universe? I mean, I'm sure the settings that contains dinosaurs do have all the lore figured out, and that makes sense, but to me, they just don't match. It feels like watching a pirate film, then suddenly a robot shows up. It just feels too out of place and over the top, and clashes way too much with the rest of the setting. Give us takes like this, not gay people suck. Give us dinosaurs don't belong in D&D.
I agree.
Oh, who loves? Is it Ratty P? Ratty P fucking loves dinosaurs.
Look, I don't like if you're gonna do like a more primordial, elemental, fucking old school thing with like dinosaurs in. Fair enough, but when I think of D&D. Never put dinosaurs in.
Yeah, you know what? I remember when we first learned in our first campaign that dinosaurs were a thing, and we were all like,
what?
What?
There's dinosaurs? And we were like, have we gone like back in time? Because we didn't understand that they could just exist.
Yeah. And you know, I don't think this is too serious. Like, I think like, you know, it's kind of as OP says, like it depends on the setting, and also
it depends on the setting, 100%.
It, you know, it's D&D. You can do whatever you want.
You can do whatever you want.
But
you can do whatever you want.
You know, if you are playing in specifically a high fantasy, epic fantasy setting, I would agree. But I also think that there's probably games where...
I think that's what the thing. You look at the monster manual and you look at all of the demons and the devils and you look at all of the celestials and the angels and you look at all of the like underdark monsters and it's like, they're all there for you to run a campaign that fits.
Yeah.
Like, they're monsters that you can chuck into any campaign. Yeah. I'm running a campaign in the 9 Hells. Here's all the demons. Here's all the devils. I'm running a campaign about like elementals. Then you got all the elementally charged monsters and stuff like that. Yeah. It's all there because you can run hundreds of thousands of different types of games. In my games, I never have dinosaurs.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Matthew always has dinosaurs.
Yeah, always. Oh always my god, yeah, his last one shot had a million billion dinosaurs. A bajillion dinosaurs. But also they fit in that setting. Do you know what I mean? I also can't help but feel like though, if we came across a dinosaur in one of your games, we'd be like, yeah, all right, cool. Yeah. Oh, I don't think we'd think too much of it, to be honest.
It doesn't matter, does it?
Yeah,
like you put in what you want.
Yeah, I agree. So I feel like, I don't know. Do you think that's an unpopular opinion?
Yeah.
Do you think?
I think so. In traditional fantasy, when you would think about it, dinosaurs really don't belong there. Yeah. But, you know, at the same time, traditional fantasy can be whatever the fuck you want it to be. So put dinosaurs in if you want.
Yeah. What do you guys think? Do you agree or disagree? What do you think? Ratty P is literally shaking, crying in a corner. Yeah. Quaking. Frothing at the mouth. Typing unsubscribing, leaving being a mod, and typing a nasty comment. All right, the next one.
Here's my resignation from moddom.
Yeah. Okay, this next one is: most people have never formulated their own opinion about anything in the D&D space aside from what their favorite class is. They just regurgitate something that their favorite YouTuber said.
Fucking hell, man.
Like,
who fucking cares?
Yeah, I know.
Like, literally, who gives a fuck?
Yeah, and you know what? This I actually saw genuinely in like the unpopular D&D threads. This is actually a really common sentiment. Like the fact that people like don't actually play D&D and like they're just saying what their favorite YouTuber said. And like I also say,
it's just a bunch of gatekeepers.
Yeah. Well, yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I also say to that, what's the problem with that?
Because everyone's gotta be a fucking Giga Chat about something. Everyone's gotta be fucking top dog about something. Alpha, fucking no Sigma, no Beta.
Yeah,
I gotta be fucking top dog. I gotta be Matt. I gotta be
go on.
Gotta gatekeep.
Yeah,
gotta gatekeep.
Like. You know, I fucking hate this opinion because it's like, okay, what if someone has watched their favorite YouTuber say something and they go, yeah, I agree with that. That's my opinion now. What's wrong with that?
Like, the thing is, right, there's some people in this world who just, like, are really passionate about something. There's some people in this world who are, like, so passionate that they go on the internet and say things. And, you know, like, some people, you know, just like consuming content. Yeah. And then they hear something and they're like, oh, that's quite a good take. I agree. Yeah. And like, that person probably watched that YouTuber probably watched somebody else back in the day. And they formulate opinions and stuff like that. It's just a cycle.
But that's life.
But the thing is, just because we've got the internet now, it's more widespread.
Totally.
Before, it might have just been the dude who you really admire at the local game shop had this really sick opinion, and now I have it.
Yeah.
But now it's just YouTube. So, you got it from somewhere, so just chill the fuck out.
That's how opinions are formed. And you know what? Your opinion can change.
No.
Let's say...
You're on the internet. Don't you fucking dare.
Like, good example of this. Someone who maybe hasn't had a chance to play proper D&D yet. Because it's hard to find a group of people to play D&D with. It's hard.
It really is.
Let's say you're really interested in D&D. You know a lot about it. You watch a lot of YouTubers about it.
Yeah.
And you agree with their opinions. You actually get into a game and you realize that opinion from someone who hasn't lived your experiences and lived at the table that you're at, you change your opinion. You go, actually, I disagree with that now, and this is my opinion. I just want to say there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing.
That's completely normal.
Nothing.
And I said it before in another video. It's okay to just like something. It's okay to not have to be involved.
Margaret, shut up. No way.
But you know what? The amount of people who in that video I said, it's okay just to like something. You don't have to know everything about it. You don't even have to know about it. You can just like something and want to support it.
Yeah.
And that's fine. The amount of people who were like, thank you, because I haven't been able to play D&D yet, but I love it. And the amount of people who've said that I'm a fucking, like a wannabe, and
You, specifically?
No. The people are saying, people are saying that, I'm not allowed to have an opinion. Yes, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Yes, you are.
Yeah, you are.
Like,
I'm not a fucking footballer, but I can have opinions on football.
Yeah, exactly. Your experiences shape your opinion.
I'm not a musician, but I can like a band and not like it.
Yeah, exactly. I hate this. I hate this opinion.
Fucking trash. And this is 101. Like, on this podcast, I'm very, very clear and adamant that monks in the general state of the game are probably one of the weakest classes. Mm-hmm. My friend Jordan from the community is like, well, I played a game, Jack, and I had an amazing experience. I didn't feel underpowered. I actually felt quite powerful. Yeah. And I was like, did you get to late game? And he was like, yeah. And I was just like, well, there you go.
Yeah,
like,
there you go.
You can hear me, like my podcast, agree with my opinion, then play a game, play a monk, and then be like, I didn't feel that. And it's like, because there was probably something about the way you played that didn't hinder the monk like that. Yeah. And that's fine. Like, and you can now think that monks are stonky and whatever.
That's so normal. Don't let gatekeepers like this tell you, oh, well, you haven't formed your own opinion. Who fucking cares?
Who gives a fuck?
Who gives a fuck?
You know, you haven't formed your own opinion.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up.
Not everyone is lucky enough to be able to play D&D.
And the thing is, right, like, here we go, here's a fucking tangent.
Go on.
Like, I've grown up listening to music about politics. Mm-hmm. I've grown up to music that talk about, like, the state of the world and why it's a complete and utter fucking garbage fire that should probably be put down. But, so when I say things like, the things I do about politics and about like the way the world looks and stuff like that, that's not because I formed that opinion. I am basically a product of everything that I've consumed for the last 10 years.
Aren't we all?
And those people, like, I listen to bands like Stick to Your Guns, and I'm like, man, live and die by the sword, stick to your guns, fucking straight edge, motherfucking love socialism and stuff like that. But they listen to propaganda. And it's like, it's just a filtered thing. Like, we're all getting stuff from the people before us. What?
Sorry, you said propaganda. I'm aware that that's a band.
Yeah.
I thought you just said propaganda weird. I'm so sorry.
Or like Earth Crisis or something like that.
Propaganda.
Like, but like, it's just filtered down. We're all getting the same message, but from somebody like prior.
Yeah, well, exactly.
And that's the same with like Dungeons and Dragons.
That's being alive.
That's being alive.
That's the human experience. That's being alive.
Damn.
Do not fucking let gatekeepers tell you that your opinion is invalid because you haven't experienced it.
Wrong. Because you heard it from somebody else. You can hear something and agree with it and be like, yeah, I think I agree. But just because it wasn't your opinion doesn't mean it's not now.
Yeah, wrong.
Shut up. What's the point in having fucking stupid shit opinions like this?
I don't know.
Fuck me.
I don't know. It's okay to hear someone say something and agree with it. It's fine.
No, it's not. You have to come up with that on your own, otherwise it's invalid. Shut up.
The next one. Oh, God, I'm pissing myself off. Man, I'm pissing myself right off.
Spicer.
Man.
Today's a spicer.
All right. You cannot convince me that all you need to convince someone is persuasion. For example, you're gonna bleed if you don't let me take care of that. Medicine. Or, let me take care of that. It might be bad. Persuasion. I'm opening up another gash. If you don't let me see that, intimidation. And while we are at that, most skill checks can have alternative stats in them, not just intimidation with strength. A character may not be the most wise, but if he reads books and books about psychological behavior and how to read body language, they should be able to do an intelligence, insight, some fuckers. Although insight is wisdom. But that was just me. Sorry.
Okay. So what was the opinion at the beginning?
The opinion is...
You can't persuade me that it's only persuasion.
With just persuasion.
Yeah.
Which, like, I agree.
Yeah, I think, like, it's this thing. It happens on Critical Role a lot, and it happens in our game a lot. You say something, or if somebody in the party says something, and I'm like, oh, roll this. Yeah. And then you go, or somebody else at the table goes,
can I do this
Can it be
instead?
this instead? And it's like, no, because what you've said... Like, yeah, if you come aggressively at a situation, then yeah, we'll go for intimidation. But you can't just be like, can I roll persuasion instead because I've got proficiency? It's like, because you aren't trying to persuade, you're trying to intimidate.
And I also think, but I like the examples here. Oh my god.
Piss.
Go piss girl. Specifically that I'm opening up another gash if you don't let me see that.
Yeah.
And doing like an intimidation check.
Yeah.
Like, I like that. I really like that. And I think, we could potentially be biased because we very rarely ask to do persuasion or intimidation or like those types of charisma checks.
I think we roll a lot.
It's normally we say something and you go, okay, make that.
And I ask you to roll, yeah.
I'm sure if I gave this example and I wanted to heal someone, they wouldn't, and I was like, can I intimidate them to let me heal them? You would say, yeah.
Yeah.
You wouldn't go, no, you have to make a persuasion check.
Yeah. But there's also a lot of times where like social like conversation with NPCs is just happening.
Yes.
And because you say something so great, sometimes I just like basically forego the roll. Yeah. Because sometimes there's nothing that feels worse in Dungeons and Dragons than like thinking of something really clever to say and then bringing up this like fucking stonking argument and you're like, oh, this, and everyone at the table's like,
yeah, like you remembered something about an NPC
and everyone's like, man, that was great. And then you go, and I'm like, roll me persuasion. You fucking roll that dice, and it's a 1, and it's like, you deserve that
because of the words.
So sometimes like I won't forgo it, but I'll give you advantage, or something like that. I don't know, because that's the thing. Like it's different with roll me an acrobatics check. It's like you didn't do any. Go on. Acrobatics. Acrobatics. You didn't say, oh, you were like, can I climb this tree? And then I asked you.
Yeah.
Like, it's different because this is what, do you want to know what? Sometimes it gets me back in the day, we had that submission where it's like, I actually roll the dice and then I let it dictate my roleplay.
Yeah.
That's basically the same as, can I climb this tree? Roll the dice. Do you know what I mean?
No.
So, can I climb this tree? I roll the dice. Yep. I get a 2.
Yep.
I fail.
Yep.
I say this really awesome thing.
Yeah.
I roll the dice, I get a 2. I fail even though I said this amazing thing. So sometimes I understand, when people are like, I'm about to try and persuade this person.
Yeah.
Roll the dice.
Oh,
I got
a
2.
Then you go, I'm not going to do it, actually.
No, you fucking roleplay out a really shitty argument.
Oh, yeah, no,
so
yeah.
I get, that's why, I actually really get that because I end up just giving out advantage for persuasion checks and intimidation checks because you've already made such a great case.
Yeah.
I almost just want you to succeed.
Well, then just let us succeed.
I do.
You do. To be fair, you do. To be fair, you
do.
Yeah.
That brings me back to that argument of like, I actually roll to let it dictate my role play. I get that a little bit more now, actually.
Yeah.
That was a tangent.
Yeah, that's all right.
That was a fucking tangent,
baby.
That's
okay. That's what's.
I'm tangenting.
Literally, that's what we do.
I'm tangenting.
Yeah. What do you think of the first one? You cannot convince me that all you need is a persuasion check.
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
I agree.
100%.
I also agree.
I'm shaking my hammer for all you Spotify listeners.
The second take, the most skill checks can have alternative stats in them. For example, not just intimidation with strength.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Although, isn't intimidation charisma?
Yeah, but
to be able to use strength. I completely agree.
Like, if you're using your physicality, then I'm more than happy to let you use your strength modifier. Yeah. And I understand, switching some things out sometimes.
Yeah, I feel like that's the biggest example there, though.
If the Dungeon Master thinks it's warranted and knows the player's better at this, and they've it would be persuasion, but you've actually used your intelligence to argue your way out of it.
Yeah.
Like, roll a persuasion check, but add your intelligence modifier.
Yeah, and like, the second bit about like a character might not be wise, but if he reads books about psychological behavior, they should be able to use their intelligence to do an insight sec. I read that completely wrong. I was like, that's wisdom.
Insight sec.
Insight sec. Can I do an insight sec?
By the way, how much do you love that I'm a fucking absolute old as fuck motherfucker who obviously thinks that Spotify no longer still doesn't have video? Well, I'm always like, for all you Spotify listeners who are clearly not watching.
To be fair, I feel like the reason a lot of people listen on Spotify is when they're like driving.
Yeah.
Or like, at work or something like that and like can't watch a video. I actually feel like a lot of our YouTube listeners also just listen.
Podcast it.
Yeah.
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 I imagine that's probably the case.
Yeah.
But you should watch because it's good fun.
Yeah, we're weird.
And I shake my hammer about.
And I have ears. I have elf ears today.
Ears.
What do you think? Yeah, I agree. I
agree.
Agreed. Do you think that's unpopular? Probably not.
Probably not. I think there's probably people who live and die by.
Oh yeah, true. I think general populace. No, I don't think so. Okay, this next one is spells should come back when you level up rather than on a long rest. Players would have access to wands, scrolls, staffs, etc. to compensate in some way.
Fuck me, you are completely changing the game.
You
are completely changing the fundamentals of the game.
We've said this so many times. Like there is some, like we love homebrew rules. We love homebrew. We love changing things up. Yeah. But there's some like pillars of the game that you can't change, and because it becomes so difficult for everything. Spells come back when you level up.
There's a few things that you're gonna have to change here.
Mm-hmm.
You're gonna have to change. You're leveling up. Fucking all the time.
Yeah, all the time. All the time.
You're going to be getting so many magic items that have spell slots.
Yeah.
That must be able to cast like multiple different spells.
Yeah. Like one scroll, staff, etc. And to which I say, just let them have their spells back.
And it's like, you get a wand of fireballs. It's like, okay, so I burnt all my spells, so now all I can cast is fucking fireball till I level up in like 30 days or something like that.
Or I have to rely on, like, I'm assuming cantrips obviously don't count. I'd like to think so. Like, do you know what I mean? What then becomes of something like a wizard?
Yeah. And like, if you're doing this thing where you're like, oh, it should be taken care of by spells and scrolls and all these things, it's just like, you're just giving them spell slots.
Yeah, just let them have the spells.
You're basically getting rid of their spell slots and just giving them spell slots that are on magic items. So it's like, what's the point?
Yeah, what's the point? Just let them have the fucking spells. You're just making
it needlessly complicated.
Yeah, like, man, there's sometimes for us, I'd say on average, excluding the kind of beginning levels where we level up like kind of regularly, right? I would say we level up on average between 6 to 8 sessions.
I would say it's more like 5 to 6 sessions.
Do you think?
Yeah. Like, I would say if you spend 5, my campaigns go quite.
Yeah. You're quite fast paced.
I want you to be in that level and like show off your new stuff and like have like 5 or something sessions to like live and breathe at this and look forward to the next.
Yeah.
Because if you just like level up every session, it maybe doesn't feel as good.
Yeah.
But I think I'm quite fast.
I agree. You are definitely fast for what I think traditional leveling.
Yeah, I agree. I think I'm a little faster than most.
But that's because our campaigns last less than a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
you're probably
fast-paced
talking
campaigns.
Like 40-ish sessions for an entire campaign.
Yeah, between like, I'd say probably bang on 40 sessions.
And like, we don't really have things without campaign. We don't really have downtime sessions.
No, we don't.
Like at all, really. No. Like even shopping sessions, we probably only have 1 or 2 shopping sessions an entire campaign.
Yeah.
So like, and I understand that that's not for everyone.
No, God, no. And I'm sure the speed at which our campaigns go. I remember when we concluded your campaign and we finished on 41 sessions. So many people were like, "Oh my God, that was a quick campaign." And it's like, yeah, it genuinely it is.
That seems to be the way we like it.
Yeah, it is.
That's the way I like it as a dungeon master, and everyone seems to want to play. So.
Yeah, because it's still a year. Like, I know it doesn't sound like a lot of sessions, but that's still like pretty much a year for us.
Like this one went from September to August.
Yeah.
So, like, literally 11 months.
We have a few double sessions in there as well. And, sometimes we have weeks off. Like, I think the span of the year is a good amount of time.
The majority of the year.
Yeah, agreed. But, yeah, I can't imagine for, like, let's say 6 sessions not having spells.
Yeah, but you do, though, because they're just in your magic items.
Yeah, that just stinks.
So then what's the point?
Stinks.
Yeah.
That stinks.
But it's like you get them. That's the problem, though. If you get rid of all of... I guess you could really... God, the only way I'm thinking it could be good, because I'm trying to see the positive in it, is you use all of your spells for like disguise self, fucking charm person, all those like mechanically beautiful spells, and then you just have fucking magic missiles in this one, and fireball in this one.
Yeah, but then again, it's like pew, pew. The wands and stuff. Like, do they recharge? Is there a certain amount? Do you know what I mean?
You usually get the charges back.
Like, just give them spell slots. I don't know.
Just leave it as it is.
Yeah, I don't know. And this ties into kind of the more gritty games where it's like a long rest is you have to take over a week.
Yeah.
And then a short rest is the night. Do you know what I mean? And people love that. Like, people love that system. I'm sure there's people who would love this system.
Like, Matthews desperately wanted to play one of those games.
Oh, I'd rather die.
I know.
I'd rather die.
I know. But, like, you would just have to really pick carefully as to what class.
I like to have all my stuff. I like to blow my load immediately.
Yeah, all the time.
I don't like resource management. That's why I don't play casters anymore.
But you are going to play a paladin.
I am going to play a paladin, which, Well,
smite slots.
Smite slots.
You just smite every single time.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like, I don't like spellcasting for that reason, but that's why I will never play in a gritty realism game. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like, I'm not saying that people who play in those games are wrong, because that's such a valid way to play, but not for me.
Yeah, if you want to. And this is a valid way to play. If you really want to, I just think you're making it.
I don't know a lot of people who would genuinely.
With this, I just feel like you're just making it hard for yourself.
Yeah, I know.
It's all I feel like you're doing.
This is unpopular. This is absolutely unpopular. So unpopular. Definitely. Definitely.
Nah.
Oh. All right. How many do we have left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We have 8 left.
That's all right.
Bloody hell. Oh my god.
When we got through those, there was a couple that we actually just really tangented on.
Yeah. Well, naturally. This next one is you're a shit DM because you over prepared, or you expect your players to follow a script.
God,
I know.
Like, look, me as a dungeon master.
Shit, I'm joking. No.
Don't prepare much.
No,
don't prepare much. I don't prepare much in terms of like writing it down.
Yeah.
The mental preparation
all day, every day.
All day. From as soon as one session ends to the beginning of the next session. Or I'm like thinking about 5 sessions from now and what's going to happen in between all of those. Like, it's non-stop. Just because I don't write it down doesn't mean I'm a god to your DM.
Yeah.
Like, that's just the way that works for me. If I try and read off the sheet, I've said it before, I struggle because I'm not great at reading out loud.
Yeah.
So I've got to like basically mentally prepare it all and rehearse it almost in the car when I'm driving places.
Yeah.
And not in the house so you can hear me.
Yeah.
There are so many dungeon masters who thrive on preparation.
Me.
Yeah, Matthew.
Yeah, Matthew.
Matthew is a dungeon master.
Yeah, I can't speak to Abby, but
it seems like Abby's a little bit more like me. She just sort of goes with the flow.
Yeah, I agree.
But, like, neither... Like, look, fucking come on, man. Like, Matt Mercer. Like, to me, and I know not to everyone, and that's totally fine, gold standard DM.
Agreed.
Couldn't DM any less like him.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, he is, like, prep. He's got all of his notes about every NPC, and, like, he's like, you asked about that town from fucking 400 sessions ago. Let me just flick through my notes because I've got it here.
Yeah.
Like, unbelievable preparation.
Yeah.
And he's not a bad dungeon master.
No.
But you're saying he is.
That's also how I prepped. Like, I could argue I prepped too much, to a detriment, but I am also the type, you know what? Ginny D said this. Ginny D was like, if I'm not completely prepped and know exactly what's going to, like, what the fail safes are, then I don't feel confident. It makes me feel more confident. And I don't think there's anything wrong with this. No. And I think this opinion is very judgy and gatekeepy.
Yeah.
But, like, this goes into, there's such a thing as too over-prepared. And it says who? Maybe for this person there is. But for another person, there probably isn't.
Like, the thing is, right? Because the thing is, I think you didn't DM long enough to, like, truly understand what was comfortable for you.
Definitely.
And that's the problem here. Like, if you are a preparer and you love to prepare, it doesn't mean that you're just going to railroad. It means if they go off course in this direction, this direction, and this direction, I know what's going to happen in all 3 directions.
Yes.
Like, that's being prepared.
Yes.
Like, yes, I understand that there are dungeon masters who are like, this is the one true timeline, and if you vary,
I can't do anything about it.
Yeah,
totally.
Like,
there's nothing wrong with that.
But there's nothing wrong with that, as long as your players are all happy to just follow the breadcrumbs that you leave.
Exactly.
Like, I am very much a dungeon master who, like, I am like that, I guess, but just in my own way.
Yeah.
Like, I'm preparing this for the session, and if you're doing other stuff, then it's not going to be as great as what I've prepared here. But if you want to do that, fine. Yeah. I'll fucking make it up, and I don't mind.
Yeah. And what do you think of the second part? You expect your
Employers?
Your players
Your
to follow.
employers.
Yeah, my employees.
My employees.
You expect your players. I said employees again.
No.
To follow a script.
Well, it's just you expect them to follow a script.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Like I'm assuming the vibe I'm getting from this is you're over prepared because I think there may be. I'm getting like railroading vibes.
Yeah.
Here, like you're expecting your players to follow a script, and to that I say, like, do your players care?
Also, if you come to my session to just throw me off course, then I don't want you at my session.
Yeah.
Like you're going to experience what I planned. That's why you come to. That's why you're here. Dungeon Master.
That's why you're here.
That's why I'm here.
Yeah.
Because I've got a story to tell.
Yeah.
If you don't want me to tell the story, then don't play at my game.
Yeah, and there's kind of like an unwritten like social obligation, and I completely understand that for a lot of people, the unspoken social obligations are actually kind of hard to get your head around. I totally get that, and that's not what I'm saying here. But there is like a unspoken social obligation to your DM to kind of
do what they've got prepared.
Take the bait, and forgo some of the would I do this? To go along with it because you know that your DM spent hours planning, and your DM's excited to do this thing, and your DM's a player too. Like, do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, I don't think there's anything wrong with following a script. Yes, because one of the biggest things I said when I was talking about in the second video we ever did about my experience as a DM, like I think I expected you guys. I kept being like, well, when they do this will happen, and oh my god, that's never going to happen.
Yeah.
So that was to a detriment, but only to myself.
Yeah, I think like this is more just advice than telling you what to do. But I think if you just have a general idea of like being like this thing's going to happen when they get to this farmhouse and only this farmhouse because this farmhouse has got something different. It's like no, if they're going to just explore the farmhouses, the thing happens at one of them at some point. Just being a little bit more loose. Like this is going to happen. And I'll just make it happen when they do the thing. Yeah, is probably a better like little rule to follow.
Yeah,
but
no,
also,
I agree. Yeah.
At the same time, is like the problem with this is it's like everybody has to do things my way or the highway, and it's like that's just fucking stupid because you and I are different people. We have different experiences. Our brains work in different ways. So just saying one shoe fits all is fucking stupid.
You know what? If anyone's saying, well, you're shit if you do this, is first of all wrong.
Yeah, 100%.
And like point blank wrong. But the only situation I would say you're a shit DM is if you are actively trying to fuck your players.
Yeah, just fuck
and you're
them.
Trying to be hateful.
Yeah.
Like I'd say that's the only situation.
That's the only situation you're a terrible DM.
Don't let anyone tell you that you're a shit DM because you do something differently.
Loads.
Stupid.
Like, prepping's valid, baby.
I don't necessarily know how unpopular this is.
I think there's a lot of people who think like this. I know people who think like this.
I know people who think like this, and it's lame. Yeah,
and it's just like, man, I wouldn't dare.
Lame.
I wouldn't dare prepare that much. It's like
lame.
Who gives a fuck? And especially a lot of people just enjoy prepping.
Yeah, me. I enjoyed it.
They get a lot of like just enjoyment out of preparing and thinking and like creating and making like fucking hell. Margaret likes to just make lists about anything. Anytime she gets to make a list, she's happy. So of course, prepping for her is exciting.
Yeah, it is.
Actually running the session was what you didn't like.
Yeah, exactly.
You love the preparation.
Yeah, I did.
But for me, preparation couldn't be anything. I fucking hate prep. Yeah. I love running a session. I love being in there playing and like the thrill of taking you through through the moments.
Boo. I don't necessarily think that's unpopular, but that stinks.
That's a stinking fucking stink.
Right, let's power through these last ones. Oh my, we're playing D&D today.
Yeah, and
to be fair, we've got a bit of time. We've got a bit of time.
Yeah.
We really need to stop leaving filming before we play D&D.
Hey, it's all right. We got time, baby.
We got time. We got time.
We got an hour and 40 minutes.
We eating pizzas.
Oh, loads. I have chicken sandwiches.
Oh.
We had roast chicken yesterday, and we like to like get all the meat off so we can have chicken sandwiches the next day.
Yeah.
How do you prepare your chicken sandwich? Do you have mayonnaise and black pepper? That's what we have.
Yeah.
And bread.
Yeah. Yum. Oh, God, I'm hungry.
Next one.
All right. This next one is Wizards are the only casting class which is truly overpowered and only at high levels. Those spells are all a giant fuck you to the DM's plans. Honestly, the class should be banned until it is completely reworked.
What are you talking about, man? It's fucking rad. These crazy opinions. Trust me, I've seen clerics dismantle combats just as much as wizards have.
Yep. And
yes, wizards do have the most spells, which probably means they get access to some of the crazy storms.
Yes.
But clerics get loads of spells as well. druids get loads of spells.
Yeah, I know. Like, all casters at high levels get a lot of spells.
Yeah.
And again, I feel like this is just coming from a place of having experienced this.
Yeah.
And, you know, this actually ties in with, I think it was an Am I the Asshole we did, where someone was like, I'm a high-level wizard, and, like, my DM just punishes me for it over and over and over because I'm just a good player.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah.
Is there a problem with the wizard, or is there more of a problem with maybe our dungeon masters aren't experienced enough to know how to deal with them?
Yeah.
Like, and the thing is, I remember we posted that TikTok, and there was loads of people being like, nah, the fucking DM's the problem. It's just like, I understand what you're saying, and I agree the DM should have not let that person get to that situation. Never should have got to that situation. But at the same time, you've got to understand that this dungeon master is fucking struggling. Like, and I feel like sometimes we forget that dungeon masters are fucking people.
Yeah, agreed.
Who, you know, have to sit there and plan the session. And if they're like, I don't know how to get around this fucking wizard's wall of force because I'm just not equipped enough, I don't have the knowledge of the game yet. And then loads of people will be like, well, then don't dungeon master. And to that, I say, go and fuck yourself.
Yeah,
like, if you want a fucking dungeon master, do it.
And that's like you need to have experience to get the job. How do I get experience?
How do I get experience? Get a job. Well, I can't because
I need experience to get the job.
Well, then get a job, but I can't.
Like, you're never going to know until you actually get into that situation. And I think, like, things like this, like with the wizard being overpowered. And again, I'm very biased because I have seen this. I have seen a high-level wizard play hell with our DM.
Yes.
And it was awful to watch.
It was horrible to watch.
It was horrible to watch.
The dungeon master was a close friend of ours, and they just basically dreaded it.
Yeah, they dreaded it.
They turned up to every session almost having like a panic attack and anxiety attack because they were worried that something was going to be exploited.
Yeah.
And it's like, how can you sit there and be like, nah, the dungeon master's a fucking asshole because of this? And it's like, yes, that dungeon master may have done some asshole things.
Definitely.
But think about how they're feeling.
Yeah. And like,
let's have some empathy, baby.
Yeah, like this situation here, like the high level wizards, I agree. Like, yes, they're powerful. I think all casters are powerful.
Yeah.
And I think situations like this just need to be talked about. And I'm aware that we're kind of talking about something separate now, really. But, you know, they need to be banned until they're reworked. Like, I understand this is coming from a place of frustration, right?
Yeah.
But I think just work together with your players. If you're struggling to balance them, work together with them.
Like, saying, let's ban wizards.
Yeah. Ban the wizards!
It's a silly thing to say.
Ban them.
Let's just, if you're struggling to balance something, any dungeon master out there, if you are struggling to balance something, instead of banning wizards, instead of trying to put a bracelet on them to completely consume all of their magic and putting them in a house that is an anti-magic field, like, that is not the way to deal with it. We need to just talk to our players.
Totally. It's okay, by the way. It's okay not to be able to balance something.
If you don't know how to balance something,
that's normal.
Welcome to the fucking club.
Yeah. Like,
we've all been there.
How are you ever going to know something until you do it? You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, that's completely fine, but don't suffer in silence and just have a miserable time. Because the player's probably having a miserable time too.
Because they're getting targeted.
Yeah, just talk to them.
Just talk to them. This cycle just breaks as soon as we just talk to each other.
Yeah.
Like, if you just want to go to them and say, I don't know how to balance you, we need to do something about it, and talk to them and figure out how we're going to balance it.
Like, I think, you know, looking back, if our DM had said that, and I wish I had said this, I wish at that time, but we knew nothing about
We knew nothing at that point.
I wish at the time I just grabbed our DM and was like, just talk to them.
Just talk to the person.
Just talk to them and work it out, because if you're having a miserable time, talk to them.
The problem will come where if you talk to them as a dungeon master and they're like, that's on you, then it's like, you're an asshole.
Totally.
Like,
yeah.
And
totally.
you know, again, I think about, you know, the Roman Empire thing.
Yes.
My Roman Empire
Go on.
is that clip from TikTok where that guy was just like, now we're in the positive energy field, and he throws his dice at the thing. Oh, look, you got a 1, and throws like, I think about that every day, because that dungeon master has stood there like leaning over the table, basically trying to think about how to overcome this situation. Like, fuck, I knew he'd have something like this ready. I didn't prepare for it.
And he sat there and he's throwing the dice. That DM follows us, you know?
Do they?
Yeah.
Bro, I am so sorry.
Apparently Jack thinks about you every day.
I think about you all the time, because if I was put in that situation, I just want to leave.
Yeah, and the player was being so fucking rude about it. So rude about it, being like, I've got this planned. And the DM stands there and he goes, fuck you, dude.
Yeah, fuck you, dude. And then the player literally says, he knew I had these spells. He should have been prepared. And it's like, I was planning everything else.
Man.
I was planning everything else.
Yeah, that was a rough video.
That was a
watch.
rough video. That's my Roman Empire.
That's your Roman Empire.
That's my Roman Empire. I think about it every day because I feel so bad for that dungeon master.
Fair Fair enough.
And I remember the person like responded as something like being like, no, we enjoy it.
This is how we
and
doubt.
Fucking press X to doubt, baby, because that dungeon master did not look like they were enjoying that game.
No.
And like,
but we're not. We can't read into people's mind. We don't know.
Like, look, we don't know.
Yeah, that was brutal to watch. But yeah, my Roman Empire is Jenna Marbles. I think about Jenna Marbles so much, so often, all the time. I hope she's well.
I love Jenna Marbles.
I love Jenna Marbles. I hope she's doing good.
And
I get it, dude.
She's off the internet and probably living
thriving.
the best life.
Yeah,
so indeed. Everyone who wants her to come back, just understand that she's probably not coming back because she's probably having a great time.
Yeah, probably thriving. What are we talking about?
Anyway. This submission.
Anyway.
Ban wizards.
Stinky tape. Ban them. Get them out of here.
I understand you probably had a bad go of it, but we talk.
Yeah.
We use our verbulation.
Yeah. All right. This next one. Sorry. You know what? I can see just into the living room, right? And the dog's in the living room, and he was sniffing the coffee table, but the way his legs were looked like he was like
lean. Have a little look.
It looked like he was having a wee. He wasn't.
Just in the front room.
Yeah, just in the front room. I wouldn't put it past him. No, anyway, the next one. Number 10. Any horny bard or any other PC who flirts with NPCs is weird. You're just flirting with your DM/friend, and it's always the weird loners who do that shit. ERP in your own time. I'm not narrating, nor listening to someone narrate your fetish. That sounds like that's no fun for you.
This comes down to everyone needs to be comfortable with it.
Yeah,
it's such a touchy subject.
No, it is. Of course, it is.
So many people who don't like it.
Of course,
like romance, like at all. Like, don't like it.
And people have to consent to it.
Yeah,
people
100%.
have to be okay with it.
Like you need to know like. If someone's going to play a flirty character, be like, I'm going to be flirty, is everybody going to be okay with it? And then if one person says no, it's like, you just can't do it. You just don't do it.
You simply don't do it.
If they're like, I don't want you to flirt with me, but I'm okay if you flirt with everyone else, then it's still fine, as long as you don't. Margaret flirts with everyone, all the time.
One of the joys, I'll say it again, one of the joys about playing Dungeons and Dragons is flirting with your DM/friends.
Yeah.
Come on. For me personally, I completely get like, and hey, we read so many horror stories. We completely understand it. I completely understand it. But if everyone's agreed to it and you're a group of friends, flirting is the best part of the game.
But if they aren't, then you definitely should not.
But to be fair, OP does say ERP in your own time. If it gets into that realm, if it gets into the ERP realm, that's a bit fucking weird.
I don't know what the ERP realm is.
Erotic.
Mm-hmm. I mean, if that's what you're going to do at your table and everyone's comfortable with it, go for it.
I can't imagine anything more cringe than being like, I give him a fucking... I'm not going to say what I was going to say. You know what? I'm not going to say what I was going to say.
Cancelled.
I'm not going to say that.
I think,
I think like having like a little, like a kiss.
Yeah.
Like a kiss on screen.
And if, we get down to sexy time, then we just fade to black.
Just fade it to black. But
we don't need to see that shit.
Once again, and you know what? I think here, OP is talking about a very specific type of person. Yeah. Like the horny bard.
Yeah. We all know
what OP is talking about. But yeah, consent is very much key.
And communication.
Very much
if you're
so.
about to do it and you maybe haven't cleared this before the moment, just be like, I'm about to flirt with you. Are you okay with this? Yeah. Let's get it.
Yeah.
Then it's fine.
Totally. Yeah. Totally.
And if everyone's comfortable with it, I would definitely just like in session 0, sex and flirtation 100% needs to be talked about. Whether if it's a hard yes, a hard no, yes with some people, no with other people, and everyone's comfortable. That fucking boundary is one of the most things that needs to be
Because
set.
then you get freaks like me who all I want to do is make moves on people in game. I think I would probably make people uncomfortable.
You would.
I definitely would. And when we started playing with our online group, I said outright, I know I joke about it all the time,
but I am going to try and flirt with you all.
I will try fuck you. So are
you all going to be okay with it?
Yeah, like, do you know what I mean? Like, being completely serious, it is important to double check that.
It is extremely important to check.
Our table, we all know that, and we're all comfortable with that.
We're all super comfortable with it. And if
anyone wasn't, of course we wouldn't do it.
Yeah, and this is the thing, like, as a dungeon master, like, me as a person...
He's doing his chompies.
Yeah. Me as a person, like, couldn't have any less interest in having relationships in D&D. Couldn't give a fuck about it. But, Margaret enjoys it, so I put in NPCs for her to romance if she wants. Like, I don't care if that's what she wants, but me as a player, couldn't give a fuck.
Yeah.
Couldn't give a fuck.
Cannot relate. But, that's it, isn't it? That's the difference. But, yeah. Consent is key.
Consent is key.
Do you think that's unpopular? No, I don't think that's unpopular at all. I think that's very, very, very popular. Yeah. All right, this next one. This is just short and sweet.
Oh.
I believe that the popularity of D&D will be its downfall.
Wow, you sound like a gatekeeper.
Ring the bell. Ring the gatekeeping bell.
Ring the
gatekeeping bell.
Wow.
We have another gatekeeper.
So let's just say it's a graph. And D&D sits... Sorry, Spotify listeners, because I know that you can't watch on Spotify.
There's no way, Spotify listeners, you could ever cast your eyes.
Ever cast your eyes upon this video. Let's just say D&D is a graph.
Yep.
And, before, let's just say Critical Role and the boom in 2016-17, it was like this.
Yep.
And this was the popularity of it. And then suddenly it went... Yep. And it's like sort of in that upwards trajectory still. Like people are still fucking like finding it and loving it, especially with Baldur's Gate 3, especially with the D&D movie. Stranger Things. 1DD's coming out. Yep. All these TTRPG systems coming out, and it's like just getting more and more and more and more. And then suddenly, I don't know, after some time, like the hype fails, and then we just go back down, and we're at the same level.
Yeah.
And we're at the same level.
Yeah.
Is that the death? Or is that you just still playing it and everyone else still playing it as you did before?
Yeah, see, like, what I don't understand about takes like this is, right, the downfall.
The downfall. And then
D&D.
Nobody ever played Dungeons & Dragons ever again.
It's like, and you still sat with your friends playing D&D?
Yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, why the fuck do you care then?
What the fuck's changed?
Yeah, man, this is a perfect example of a gatekeeping take. The popularity will be the downfall. Why? Because what normies get involved? Good.
Is it because you used to go and tell people that you played D&D and they'd be like, whoa, really? That's really strange. And now they're like, oh, I play too. And you're like, I'm not special anymore.
You don't play D&D in the same way that I do. Therefore, you're not allowed.
I've been playing it since the 80s.
And we've said this before, right? Like, yeah, okay, normies suck. I'm going to say it. Normies suck. Normies suck.
I hate
normies.
Hate normies.
However, is it not a good thing to have something in your life that connects you to another human being that you would never normally connect with normally? Yeah. To be able to say out loud in public, oh, I play D&D, and someone go, oh, I watch this, or my friend does that, or I play this. Is that not a good thing?
Because it's like you go to a christening and you couldn't be less asked to be there. And then somebody says, oh, what do you do in your spare time? And you say, I play D&D. And they say, oh, I play D&D too. And now you two have something to talk about for that cripplingly horrible time of being at the christening that you didn't want to be at.
Like,
what's bad about that?
There's nothing wrong with that. And again, there was a point where D&D, you would be bullied for playing D&D.
Oh, you'd be bullied hard.
Not in our lifetime, I don't think.
No.
But, the whole satanic panic in the 80s.
I mean, I think... in the early 2000s and I think probably in the 90s you would still be bullied.
Yeah, true. And, we've also said this before, just because you were bullied for something that you liked doesn't mean that the new people should be as well. Yeah. I know it's hard to see people come into your space, because yes, it is your space. Yeah. It's also theirs. It's hard to see people come into your space and not get penalized the same way you were. There's a natural human feeling of, oh my God, I had to suffer so much for this. It's unfair that they're not.
Yeah.
That's a natural human feeling, but you have to shake that.
One thing that I will say, though, is I do agree that the corporations getting the grubby little mitts on it ain't what we want.
Amen.
Hasbro's, it's like, it's fucking like
the worst part of D&D.
Worst part of D&D. We all hate it.
Yeah.
Like, the people who just want the money out of the fad
of course.
Are always the people who will be the death of it. I agree with that.
Agreed.
And they will make the whole brand of Dungeons & Dragons suffer because they want nothing but cash.
It's not fucking Becky at the fucking christening.
It ain't Margaret and me for making this podcast.
No.
Some of you might think so.
Well, yes, some of you, I'm sure.
And
some
you
of you do think
can
so.
go and
like, you know what I mean?
I get the corporation side of it.
Totally.
I completely agree with.
100%.
There ain't many people who are more anti-corporation than me and Margaret.
Yeah. We went to a gig when Campaign 3 of Critical Role first came out. We went to a gig and we bumped into some friends. We were looking at a meme of fresh cut grass.
And that person...
A guy behind us went, oh my God, that's Critical Role.
Oh my God, that's Campaign 3. And we just literally...
How exciting was that?
Stood there and had a conversation with that person about Campaign 3.
So exciting. So exciting. There's human connection is always a good thing.
Yes.
Always. Just because someone plays it the same way you doesn't play it the same way you do, doesn't mean that they're playing it wrong, doesn't mean it's bad.
I think you found that wrong, Margaret.
Stupid. I think that
this opinion smells.
Oh yeah, God no, this opinion stinks.
Smells real bad.
But I think once again, it's probably split, and you know exactly the split.
I think it's a low split though. I think it's probably like a 90-10.
Yeah,
or an 85-15.
You know what? Yeah, and I say, the general populace. You know what? Of D&D, I think I don't give the community on a whole enough credit. Yeah. I actually think the community on a whole is more people like us.
I agree.
Like, and I don't think I give that enough credit.
Loudest in the room.
Loudest
in the room. The people who've got the shittest opinion are always the ones who shout at the loudest. That's why
we and you and people like us, we fucking have to keep going on about this shit.
We're stand together.
That's why.
Give me the wolf from the Fantastic Mr. Fox movie.
We're gonna be the loudest in the room one day.
Yeah, we are.
Yeah, we are. We're gonna be the fucking room.
Me and Margaret are pretty loud.
Yeah, we are.
If you ever meet us in person,
loud.
We're loud.
Very loud.
Very loud.
All right, this next one.
Go.
If, as a player, you aren't taking notes, you are being incredibly disrespectful to your DM. I don't care if you have a specific player as the note taker or if everyone takes notes, but someone needs to. You should not be 30 sessions into a campaign and saying, I don't remember their name.
That means that 3 people at my table don't care about my campaign.
Wrong.
It's just wrong.
Simply wrong.
Like Matthew. Like let me just put this into perspective.
Matthew, you're gonna get roasted.
I'm about to roast Matthew.
You're about to get fucking well cooked.
I'm about to
done steak.
Fucking drag him. I'm about to cook him up. Matthew can't remember anything.
No.
A single thing.
That TikTok, forget everything you've ever known.
Matthew.
Done.
Like at one point, right, so Matthew's character, he was like, he had an earl and he loved his earl.
Yeah.
And he lived and died by his earl.
Yeah.
His earl was this really charismatic person who loved his community, who built it up and took him in, and he loved him.
Mm-hmm.
And his name was Earl Johannes.
Mm-hmm.
And at the end of the campaign,
mm-hmm.
Matthew was like, what the fuck's my earl's name? Earl Joe.
There was a point you said it and he was like, who?
And at one point, like, the whole campaign was about, like, the 3 children and Angerborder, and Fenrir was this big one, like, Fenrir.
Like the wolf.
The wolf, Fenris wolf, this humongous wolf that's larger than life. And I said something, like, about a wolf, and he was like,
What wolf?
What wolf are you talking about, Jack?
You said a big wolf, and you're like, what big wolf?
And he was like, big wolf?
Like, does that mean that Matthew cares any less about your game? No. I would say Matthew is actually probably one of the it's not fair to say that you just click
I had to just click at the dog because he's crying so loudly.
Like, it's not fair to say that one person likes it even more, but Matthew is so invested in your game.
Yeah, no, I would, like, the thing is, right, it would be unfair to say somebody cares more or less or whatever, but Matthew's enthusiasm for my game.
Very much so.
Matthew goes to work and, like, tells all of his work colleagues about it. He's, like, dead proud of it.
Yeah.
And, like, he is my number one, apart from you, he's probably my number one hype man.
I completely agree.
And,
Matthew's very vocal about it as well.
Yeah, and he's just like, Jack, like, thank you so much.
Yeah, he's always like, that was an amazing session, you did an amazing job. Like, just because he doesn't take notes doesn't mean that he doesn't care any less.
He fucking lives and dies by D&D.
Oh my God, he does. Oh my God, he really does. The
fact that he gets to see his friends and play in this game and put on an accent and fucking run really fast as a rogue makes his entire week.
Agreed.
And he takes 0 notes.
0 notes.
He's tried so many times to take notes. Mm-hmm. He's bought a fucking fancy leather-bound notebook.
Yeah.
He still didn't take notes.
Yeah, like, and note taking is not for everyone.
No,
like,
not for me.
Take so many fucking notes.
You love taking notes.
I love taking, but that's because I love taking notes.
Yeah.
I love making lists.
Yeah.
I love listening to something and being like, I love unraveling a mystery, right? So I like writing everything down. So after the fact, I can go through it and connect the dots. That's just something I enjoy.
Mm.
Does that mean everyone has to enjoy it? No. I understand to a degree what OP is saying here.
Yeah.
Like, I do. Like, I don't think it's incredibly disrespectful.
I think what we're getting it misconstrued here. It's like listening.
Yes.
And taking notes are 2 different things.
Yes.
Like,
yeah, totally.
Turning up and listening
and being
caring
engaged.
And being engaged and wanting to, like, just engage with what the DM has planned.
Yeah.
You should want to do that.
Totally.
If you don't want to do that, that is disrespectful to your Dungeon Master.
Very much so.
Your Dungeon Master has spent time doing this.
Yeah.
Taking notes is different.
Yeah. Now, other side of that, Josh, doesn't take any notes. He dabbles every now and then.
He takes a note here and
there.
Yeah,
but he, for the most part, doesn't take any notes.
Yeah.
He is the most switched on player we have. And that's coming from me, who takes 3 pages of notes per session.
Yeah, he is switched on.
He remembers everything.
He thinks he has almost dismantled some of my plot hooks. Immediately.
Because he knows.
And figured out my mysteries.
Yeah.
And figured out my like little things that I've got planned for the group, because he listens, he thinks, and he's like, I remember when the whole Gender thing was like happening, and he was basically trying to like bring his wife back from the dead and stuff like that.
Oh my God. And I know exactly what you're going to say.
And there was a moment where he was like, do you reckon one of those was like the embodiment of his wife? And I was like, motherfuckers.
How did you know that?
Figured that
How
out
did you get
there
that?
and then.
How did you get that?
And like, he doesn't take any notes.
No notes. And then there's me and Abby. Like, Abby takes like consistent notes, definitely less than me. I take a lot of notes.
Everyone, yeah.
But, you know, me and Abby, every now and then, we'll go back over our notes and then we'll go, oh.
Yeah.
Have we considered this? I do it all the time. There's been so many things that I've figured out because I've just referred back to my notes. And I do think there should be a note taker.
I think there probably should be a note taker.
I agree with that part because, I agree. 30 sessions into the campaign, I think forgetting people's names fine.
Mate, I forget their names.
I think that's fine.
Names.
But it's things like not piecing together important plot hooks that maybe because you haven't written it down, you're not going to remember. I think things like that are important. But I'm biased because I'm the note taker.
You know, like, I think if every group could have a note taker, it's not that you need it, but it's probably in your best interest. Is all.
Yeah,
because
totally.
you might figure out things and like know things that you will give you an advantage, maybe.
Now, I really do not think that it's disrespectful if you don't take notes, but I would say, definitely have a note taker. Yeah. And I don't think this. I think this is unpopular.
I think this is probably popular amongst some hurt dungeon masters.
Yeah, understandably though. I get it.
I think that's probably the people who would agree.
Yeah, I get it. What do you guys think?
What do you think?
Do you have a note taker in all of your groups? I
bet you don't. I bet
you don't as well. Yeah,
not every group has a note taker.
Yeah, get a note taker.
Get a note taker.
That's what I say.
Hire one.
Right, well, on to the last 3.
My group will be hired as your note taker.
I won't. I will. I like notes. Pay me.
You got to pay me
in mac and cheese.
In Kraft mac.
In Kraft mac and cheese specifically. Thank you.
Only you've got to cook it as well. Though.
Oh yeah, you got
to bring the bowl.
Oh yeah, if you want me to take your notes and highlight them, yeah, you're cooking me mac and cheese.
And you're gonna clean up.
Yeah, and you're wiping my mouth after every mouthful as well. You're spoon feeding me mac and cheese. Yeah,
delicious.
While I lay. Yeah, and you swallow for me as well. You stimulate my throat, so I swallow. Yeah, thank you. I'll take your notes, no problem. All right, this next one, another short and sweet. What?
Short and sweet.
Short and swimp.
Short and swimp.
Short and swimp.
Sweet.
Short and sweet.
Short and swimp.
Short and swimp.
Short and swimply.
Short and swimple.
Little swimply.
Lone wolf characters aren't the problem. Stubborn players unwilling to budge and evolve their characters are. Correct.
Exactly that.
Exactly that.
Couldn't have said it better myself.
Same.
I couldn't have articulated it better myself.
No, agreed. I actually think that is actually...
Nail on the head.
Yeah, that's a perfect...
100%.
What's the word? Like a perfect... Not example. Perfect
example.
A perfect...
God, yeah. What is...
Like, not metaphor. A perfect example. We'll say example. That's the perfect way to say it.
That is it. Yeah.
The lone wolf characters aren't the problem. It's the players who
don't
want to move away from that.
Yeah, it's like you can be a lone wolf, and like even if you end up a lone wolf, but that just trusts the party, there you go. Yeah. There was the budge.
Yeah.
Like the whole point is you can be a lone wolf who trusts the party and the party alone.
Yep.
Because you've let them in on this wild adventure you've gone on, and that's it. Like 100%.
It's okay to start as the lone wolf and not end as the lone wolf.
Or end as the lone wolf.
Yeah.
That has now wolves in their pack.
Yeah. Totally.
100%.
Yeah, agreed. I don't think there's much more to say about that. I completely, fully agree with that.
I think that is the perfect example.
Yeah.
The perfect...
metaphor?
Representation.
Yeah, the perfect... If you looked it up in the dictionary.
The perfect...
Oh my God, we're thinking of the same thing here.
Like...
I don't know.
The perfect scenario?
Yeah. I don't know.
Totally fine.
Description. Can you please think of the word we're trying to say here?
Yeah, and put it in the chat 50 times. put it in the comments 50 times.
Yeah, thank you.
50 comments. 50 comments now.
Or we delete the video.
If we don't have 50 comments by the time the episode went live at 6.
Yeah.
and we're what, an hour and 45 minutes in?
Yeah.
If at 7:45 it doesn't have 50 comments, I'm gone.
Yeah. Gone. Out. All right, this is the second to last. This is the penultimate.
Pinnacled.
Once again, how are these episodes going on for so long? We're just chatting loads.
We're just fucking gibbering.
Yeah, we're just chatting. All right, so DMs shouldn't fudge dice rolls, not even to save a character's life, which is the most common justification I read or hear for fudging. It's cheating. If you can fudge, why can't the players fudge? In fact, I think all DM rolls should be done in the open, especially enemy attacks and damage. The campaign is not your novel. You are a medium and your gods are the dice. If the dice decide something, it is your duty as a DM to make it do so. Related to this, I also think a lot of players invest too much time in their character and plan out their arc way ahead of time. I think that in most campaigns, some characters should die. At low levels, at mid levels, and at high levels. Not just at dramatic moments, but whenever the dice say so. In a random encounter, suddenly, shockingly, the dice are cruel gods. Not every lowly level 1 character should be guaranteed a full character arc. They do end it with saying, I'm only talking in absolutes because this is a hot takes post. I'm not dissing anyone else's way of having fun. Which I think is an important thing to clarify.
I mean, that there, then sort of, that's fine if that's what you want to play.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's so weird. I think as a dungeon master, you will go through an arc.
I agree.
You will go through an arc. You will basically tell a story as your dungeon master, and the way that you do it, from the moment you begin to the moment you end your dungeon mastering career, you will go through an arc. At the beginning, you'll probably feel completely opposite to this, and that's probably because you are shit at balancing it.
Of course.
And that is natural because you've never had to balance it
normal
before. And you don't understand that like a CR7 and CR6 creature and 2 CR3 creatures don't do the same thing because action economy is a thing, and then you'll learn that the hard way because a fucking fight went catastrophically bad against the players or catastrophically bad in your way. And as you get better at telling a story and realizing what you should and shouldn't do as a dungeon master and how to balance encounters, you will get further and further away from the I hate this to I actually sort of believe in this because me now, I would never fake a roll to save a player's life.
Yeah, I don't think you would.
I would kill the player because I know I've balanced it right, and the reason they're in this situation is either because they made some poor choices or it was just unlucky on the day.
Yeah.
And that's the way D&D is.
But I also would like to add to that, though. You say in your games, if you want to bring your character back, we can work something out.
Yes.
Yours isn't a permadeath situation. No. And I think that's actually a really important distinction, right? You saying, I wouldn't save a player's life, but that's because if they want them back, we can do something to do that, whatever that may entail, right? It's probably not going to be easy, but we can.
Yeah.
I think if that failsafe wasn't in place, my question to this is, there's so many variables, like not being willing to save a player's life. Is that fun for the player?
It would have to be.
Like
to run like this.
Yeah, you would have to be okay with it.
Your players have to be on board.
Have to be.
Because if they're not, then this isn't fair.
Yeah, that's the caveat to it. It's like, has everyone agreed prior that that's it? You die. Has everyone agreed that they're okay to lose a character? Has everyone agreed that there is a way to bring them back if they want to? Like, it all depends on what the fail-safes are and what's been agreed upon.
Yeah.
Because if this is just, I will never save a character regardless of anything. Like, it could be someone like me who has attachment issues and would struggle really badly with losing a character like that, shockingly, suddenly, in a random encounter. I would personally be really cut up by that because that's who I am as a person.
Like that. Like, look at Marisha, eh? Like, fucking, do you want to know what strongest fucking woman I think on this planet? Like, Keyleth, so many fucking horrible fuckers hated her. Awful. And then the people who hated Keyleth loved Bo because she was completely the other way, and the people who loved Keyleth thought Bo was an asshole.
Yeah.
And like, she's never been able to win. She's never been able to win. Everyone's always had a fucking problem with her for some fucking reason. If you have,
Shut the fuck up.
Look at yourself.
Think about why you
Christ.
have a problem with Marisha Ray specifically.
Might be because you have a problem with women.
Yeah, and
not because you got a problem with Marisha Ray.
Think about it. Is it Marisha Way, or is it the fact that she's a woman married to fucking Matt Mercer?
Yeah, exactly. And then like the thing is, she gets Laudner,
and everyone loves Laudner.
Everyone loves Laudner because Laudner's fucking awesome. Yeah. Personally, love Caleb, love both.
Yeah.
But Laudner's just fucking hits different, man.
Critical Role,
fucking dope.
Campaign 3 spoilers. Just in case you didn't know.
Just in case you didn't know. But Critical Role, Campaign 3 spoilers. Skip now if you don't want to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Laudner dies.
Mm-hmm.
And Matt says, if you want to bring Laudner back, you can. Because Marisha says, if Laudner can't come back, then neither will I.
Yeah.
Because she's so attached to her. And of course she is. Because it's the only character ever
that she hasn't been point blank hated for. Just because.
And of course Matt's going to do that for her.
Of course he
one,
is.
He loves his wife.
Yeah, of course.
And two, it's a fucking game.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, so Laudner dies because of a fight that they probably shouldn't have taken on. Maybe they didn't have a chance, and maybe Matt wanted to flex his fucking big bad guy muscles, and it was a flex. Trust. So what imagine if Matt was like, no.
Yeah.
Why?
And then people fucking gave her so much flack.
Yeah.
Because she was like, no, I'm not coming back unless we get to bring Laudner back.
Yeah.
And people were like, people like this, and that's not fair of me to say that because OP has said, I'm only speaking in absolutes because of this and this. But
and that's
people
fair.
who hold opinions like this, who are like, the dice are gods. There is no wiggle room for anything, nothing. And I'm not saying like, yes, you should for draws. No, you shouldn't. But there's people who have those opinions are like, well, she's playing a game with dice. Like, if you're not prepared to lose your character, then why are you playing? To which I say, everyone plays differently, and people get attached in different ways.
Laudner died, and they then went on a side mission through basically deep, rich lore of Laudner's backstory to like bring her back, and it was this awesome, epic adventure, which was awesome.
Yeah,
and it wasn't just like Laudner came back. Like, they had to do that, and they had to tell that story for her to come back. And to me, that's fine.
That's great storytelling
because
as
you
well.
went through things, you maybe lost things along the way, you saw things that you would like to unsee.
Yeah.
You took fights that were unnecessary.
Yeah.
Time, like in Matt's campaign, like time is always a thing.
Yeah.
Like they should have been doing something else.
Yeah.
But they had to go and get Laudner back, so they've lost ground.
Yeah.
And they spent fucking episodes like catching back up.
Yeah. And on a level other than their characters, of course, the players wanted to do that for their friend.
Yeah.
Like, I think statements like this takes out the humanity of the game. It takes out the humanity of you're playing with
people.
Whether they're your friends or not, it isn't really relevant. But most of the time, you're playing with your friends. You forget about the humanity of that. Someone might not be okay with just losing their character. And I realize that this has kind of gone off on a tangent because we don't know what failsafes will set up XYZ. Yeah. But, I think the brutalist, if the dice decide something, that's the end of it. You're playing a game with dice, so you should be prepared to lose your character. I can't subscribe to that.
No, I can't either. But
I can't personally. I understand why people do.
The thing is, as well, if you want to play a game like that, power to you.
Oh, totally.
And I understand.
And a lot of people do.
And I understand the appeal of it as well.
Me too.
But the thing is, what I don't understand is the people who are like, no, I want the option to bring my character back. Like us. Like, we are fine with both.
Yep.
But the people who are like, the gods have their say and nothing else, the dice are the gods and they have their say and nothing else. They can't see the other side. And I just can't see why we both can't just see each other's side here.
I don't understand why we can't just both go, yeah, okay, well, that works for you, that doesn't work for me. I don't know. But
okay, fine.
To be fair,
but
OP does say I am only speaking absolutes because
the thing
of this.
Is, we've dealt with many situations where
totally
they haven't put that in the end.
And I also think it's really unfair to be like, a lot of players invest too much time into their character and play out their act. Sorry that I'm actually invested in my character and I want to think of good things for my character and I want to think of what their progression is. I want to do these things. It's not like I'm burdening anyone by doing these things.
It's just like Margaret talked to me about like, she's like, this is Blythe. These are the themes I want to explore.
Yeah.
It's like the story isn't written, and Margaret's not expecting anything other than the story to play out as it happens.
Yeah. But here's what I want to touch on.
Yeah.
Here's an opportunity I would like to have. Yeah. When I do this, I would like to be able to incorporate this.
Yeah.
there is nothing wrong with that.
No.
And again, if you're this player like me who does this and your DM is saying things like, you're investing too much time, you're planning out way ahead, they're just not the DM for you.
They're just not the DM for you.
They're just not the DM for you.
Like,
there's nothing wrong with the DM thinking like this.
Like, and the thing is, you'll have different players at your table. Like, this is the thing. Obviously, I've started to tell everyone, like, think about your backstory and get it to me, because I think everyone's there already.
Yeah, I think so.
With what they want for the next campaign. And I went specifically to Abby. Yeah. And I was like, can you send me... I want Abby's first, basically.
Yeah.
Because I know that Abby likes to be... Like, there's certain things in Abby's backstory that she's like, this is the theme in my backstory that I want to... It's
yes.
Like, the backstory is this broad picture, but these are the keynotes that I like. And when it comes to Abby, I know she wants that more sort of curated experience.
Totally, yeah, totally.
Whereas with Matthew and Josh, they're like, here's my backstory, mate. You do what you want.
Do whatever you want.
And, like, that's fine. But I think Abby likes to have, not control over her backstory, but she likes...
Yeah, she likes to...
There's points in the theme that she wants to explore.
Me too.
You as well.
Me too. Like, there's points that I want, and I am guilty sometimes of pre-planning something out in my head. And of course, it's never ever going to go that way, but I think being able to be open is very important in your character backstory too.
Yeah.
But like, I don't know, we play a game with dice. Yeah, you probably shouldn't be fudging your rolls so often. And
the thing is, I think you'll think more like that when you're a more experienced dungeon master, because you won't have the need to.
Totally.
Like, if things go wrong, they didn't go wrong because you fucked up.
Totally.
Like, and I am at that point now. Like, I don't really fudge rolls because I know how to plan.
Yeah.
But at the beginning, I had to fudge rolls because I didn't understand how to plan.
Of course.
And it's like, my inexperience isn't my player's fault, so why would I make it that?
Yeah, that's it. And, you know, there's things in this post I agree with. Like, Campaign's not your novel. Yeah,
it's not.
Agreed. It's a shared experience between everyone. I agree. Should the DM roll everything out in the open? No, that's why there is a screen.
No,
that's why there is a screen.
No,
I think as long as you're making decisions for your game that is for everyone's benefit and for everyone's fun and not to their detriment, who gives a fuck? That's my opinion.
Yeah.
And if that's how this table have fun, great.
Yeah.
Power to you.
Power to you, baby.
Totally. That's that.
That's that one. I don't think I put a timestamp for that one.
It's all right. Okay.
There's been so many. I'll make one up.
We're on the last one. God, this has rustled me. Rustle my jimmies.
Yeah, it's been a rustler.
Yeah, it's been a rustler. I think we've had some good discussions there.
I love having discussions with you.
Me too. I love having.
I started the podcast.
That's why we did it.
Not me. I didn't start it. We started it.
We started it. But yeah, no.
It was actually your idea.
Yeah, well, such is life. I agree. I love having these conversations. And again, we have a lot of people and a lot of comments. And I know we're not an actual play podcast. I wish we could be. I do. I wish we could be. But we can't. We can't. We never will be able to. And I understand that.
Hey, look. We do podcasts.
Yeah.
And you know, that can expand into other things, but actual play is probably not going to be.
No, it's not. It's not.
You get the campaign updates and you get to draw fan art and stuff like that, but you know, like, we are a podcast.
Yeah.
And that's what we do best.
Yeah.
And I think it's gone really well for us so far.
Yeah, well,
because that's what we do well.
Well, what I was going to say was there is a lot of people who are like, I know you're not a play podcast, but I learn a lot from you just from your insight and your opinion on things. And there's a lot of people who are like, I'm a new DM, and just hearing Jack being like, you don't have to plan everything. You don't have to do all of this stuff. Like, it's really helpful. And I agree.
Do you want to know what? I think, here we go. Here's some fucking self-hype
for
the
on.
podcast. I think, I don't think I quite realized. Maybe we have actually filled a bit of a niche in the market that I don't think that many people do.
Maybe.
I think we are just so open and honest about the... Like, I think there's a lot of DMs out there who are a little bit too prideful to say the things that we say.
Yeah, naturally. That's just humans.
Yeah, and, you know, I've never been that person.
No, neither have I. I will always admit when I've done something stupid or wrong.
Yeah, and I think, like, to me, when I learn something new, which, by the way, I love to fucking learn new things, live for it. My fucking first try and play a game, I want to go on and I want to see like an absolute fucking honest review of this is what it's going to be like. This is how you're going to fuck it up, and this is how you're going to learn from it. And that's why I think we are like it.
Yeah.
That's what I look for.
Yeah, well, I think we're very akin. I think we're adjacent to people like Ginny D and the Dungeon Dudes, the people who do those types of videos, who are like, here's what you have to be prepared to do in a D&D session.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I think we're adjacent to that. Yeah.
I think, we're a podcast, which makes it slightly different.
Yeah.
And, do you know what? It's gone well so far. And I've enjoyed it. Have you?
Me too. No, they're like, boo, we hate you.
50 comments when?
Yeah. 50 comments have been like, boo, we can't stand you.
Type 50 in the comments. Just do it.
What happens when we get 50 comments?
Then I want 100.
Oh my God. So it never ends.
Never.
I'll
never be happy.
It never ends. All right, well, here's the last one. Here's the last one.
No, the Nultimate.
The Nulty.
The Nulty.
So, my unpopular hot take. I don't care if my players die. I run a table which has the age-old rule of fuck around and find out. My story in terms of how random things are and how grim it can be makes Game of Thrones look like it was written by kids.
Fucking shut the fuck up.
If you're walking down a slum, chances are you'll get stopped by a prostitute or a druggie or a mugger.
Oh, baby!
You clear out a bandit's hideout? Great. Hope they didn't kidnap any local people and use them for fun, either torture or otherwise. Basically, I think as DMs, we have created this world for them to be involved with. But like our own world, it has laws and consequences and people that have personalities that think and scheme. My first session of my newest campaign had a death of a 14-year-old lad that players hadn't spoken to, but due to his backstory knew. At the moment, until it rains, every time they leave and enter the small village, there's a darker patch of the road where the boy was killed. And I'm the arsehole that reminds them. Every single time. Sorry, ran over. I've had a few drinks.
Yeah, I can fucking tell.
I can tell.
You should probably not. You should probably jump on that bandwagon, baby. What the fuck are you
what
is
about? What is this?
Shut your goddamn mouth.
Yeah, dude. Obi's obviously drunk as fuck, right?
Gotta be. Gotta be, because you can only fucking write this when you've had a few beers, or you're a complete utter fucking asshole.
I can imagine sat in like a dark room, like only like the light of like the computer screen. Yeah, like Game of Thrones for babies.
For fucking children.
For babies.
That's child's play.
Children. And
watch this, internet. I'm coming through.
14-year-old boy died here, and I remind him.
Yeah.
Every single time.
Because I do that. Because I'm a fucking giga chad.
This is the type of...
I'm the fucking boss.
You know, people who, and we've mentioned this before, drop things like the Holocaust in just to be edgy.
There you go. This motherfucker.
There you go.
Wow.
There you go. Like, I don't care if my players die. Well, you should.
Well, you probably should, because they probably care.
Yeah, well, you should. You should care. You should care if your players die.
Shut the fuck
up.
Shut the fuck up.
And the thing is, you know what? The thing is, I actually completely agree with the middle part of this.
Which bit?
We've created a world, like our world, that has laws and consequences, and people with personalities and scheme.
Hey,
agreed.
Look, do you want to know what else? Let me just take a swig of my beer here.
Beer. Oh my God.
Let me just turn my laptop on. Let me get a Reddit and type this out. So do I, you stupid fuck. But I don't have to fucking do all this horrible shit. You can do it and not be like this.
Yeah. And also, don't use terms like druggies or muggers. Or,
druggies, man.
Come on.
Like, you're just a fucking idiot.
I feel like you're the 14-year-old lad.
You ain't got a clue.
Yeah, I feel like
you ain't got a clue of the world around you.
Yeah, like I don't know. I feel
something else.
I feel a little guilty because obviously this person's like, I've had a few drinks, so they're obviously a bit drunk. But
maybe you should have deleted it.
Yeah,
then.
maybe
you should have deleted it.
Yeah, I don't know.
But you didn't because you know.
Yeah, I don't know. And to be honest, the rule of fuck around and find out, I can subscribe to that.
Look,
totally.
Believe me, I love fuck around and find out. Matthew fucked around and he found out.
Yep.
And you all nearly died because you fucked around and found out. You can have fuck around and find out and not do this.
Agreed.
You can fuck around and find out and not be a complete loser.
Agreed. Yeah. This is just kind
degenerate.
of like...
That's the word for this.
Degenerate.
Degenerate.
Yeah, degenerate. Yeah. You definitely need to care if your players die.
Yeah, you do.
End of. Bye.
So
that's it. There's not much more to say.
My dog's crying.
The dog's very upset.
I need to feed Margaret.
We have D&D in 25 minutes.
Do we?
Yes.
Oh God, I thought it was. Oh good God.
Oh good God. Oh
right.
good God.
Oh good.
Oh
God.
good God.
Anyway,
what did you think? If you have any views on these unpopular opinions, let us know.
Where?
In the 50 comments.
In the 50 comments
below.
So, if you want to pick up some merch, go to www.eldritchpodblast.co.uk. You can get the logo tee, just like this one, with squad blasters on the back. I'm not going to turn around because you can't see it.
Turn around!
No. You can get the heavy metal t-shirt there as well. Please go. That supports the podcast.
Please.
Our Etsy shop is linked below.
We have a 10% sale on right now. However, you get 10% off everything with code Podblast.
Spell cards, notebooks, t-shirts, mugs, anything you want.
Made by these nasty hands.
Go and get your goods there.
We breathe all over and cough on them.
Click the thumbs up. Comment down below. You've been commenting so much and it's been helping all the videos. Our last video that was like, we were like, it doesn't get as many views. It still did great because you commented and because you liked it. So thank you so much for that. Subscribe if you haven't. Click the bell to be notified when we upload a video on a Monday and a Thursday.
Yep.
What's this? Is this a Thursday episode?
Yep.
Yeah. We're going to see you. We've been the Eldritch Podblast.
Yep.
I love you.
I love you.
Bully loves you, even though he doesn't love you right now because he wants his lunch. And we're going to see you on Monday. Bye.